And NC State faced off on the gridiron. Bit of a heartbreaker for the boys in blue, but tonight, just across the road here in PNC Arena, the Tar Heels and the Icepack take each other on the ice, and North Carolina looking to flip the script. Chris Lehman, John Johnson with you here as we get set for the battle for the Governor's Cup between North Carolina and NC State. Two teams coming in, John, ranked in the region, 17 for North Carolina, top of the region for NC State. It's going to be a great matchup.
I think so. If you look at NC State's schedule recently, they're on a tremendous run. They're 14-1, their only loss to D1 Liberty. UNC, however, has given them the best game in the past month. UNC played them to a 2-2 score with 8 minutes left in their last matchup before NC State was able to score a few and put away the game. But the type of game UNC needs to play tonight is a strong defensive game, just like in their last matchup. UNC won't win a track meet. They want to keep the score low, frustrate NC State, and come away with a low-scoring win.
Well, and when we look at this North Carolina team as opposed to other years, one thing that Coach Volkman has emphasized a lot is the depth on this team. He feels like this team can play better with a deep NC State roster, and that's going to be key tonight, those lower lines contributing.
That's right. So in years past, you haven't seen 4 full offensive lines for UNC. That additional depth allows you to keep your top players fresh and allows your third and fourth lines to really come in and be contributors by wearing out, especially that top line for NC State led by Chris Solomon, who is one of the top goal scorers in D2. In fact, he's the third leading scorer in D2.
Yeah, and you look behind us, we've got a great atmosphere here at PNC Arena, still filling up that lower bowl right now. It's going to be some nerves, I would say, for these two teams as they come out to a bigger crowd than they're used to.
I think so, and I think for UNC has not played as many games this month. Only one game since that early November matchup against NC State, whereas NC State has played 6 since then, including a couple very recently. So the first 10 minutes is key. You really want to settle down. You can't win the game in the first 10 minutes, but UNC can lose the game in the first 10 minutes, so you really want to withstand that early surge that NC State's going to put on, especially in front of a lot of these NC State fans that are packing the stands behind us.
All right, John, as we wrap things up here and get ready for the opening puck drop, what does this North Carolina team need to do? What are a couple of points they need to focus on in order to win this hockey game?
So one, I think they really have to come out and withstand that first 10-minute surge. Get their legs underneath of them, stifle NC State. 2, they need to really neutralize the speed of NC State. That means aggressively forechecking when you have the opportunity, creating turnovers, a good back check, getting bodies on the top skill players at NC State like Chris Solomon, making life difficult. You don't want Chris Solomon winning this game. You want to make him pass, make others score at NC State. And then finally, trusting your teammates. Everybody playing positionally sound. Resist the temptation of collapsing in front of your net. Trust your defenseman and your center to play good defensively, work on your breakout, cover those points, and really be patient. And if they do that, UNC can come away with a win tonight.
Well, we should have a good one on our hands here at PNC Arena. Only a few minutes away from puck drop. We'll be right back with North Carolina and NC State for the Governor's Cup.
Advice for future agents. Oh, hold on to your seat, guys. It's gonna be an amazing ride. It's tough at first. That first year is always tough, but you work hard and you can play hard. So if you can just stick with it, especially through that first year, every year after will be very abundant. So don't give up. This is a long ride, not a little short one.
You come to us with a license, a phone, a car, a laptop, work ethic and personality, and your businesses can grow from there.
The foundation, the leads, the leadership. I feel like the leadership here is great at Health Markets, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a great opportunity for any individual that would like to be in sales.
Do not minimize the power of the collective. When one has an issue, we all work on it and we figure it out. And that was something that was unique to me, to be in a room where everybody's competitive, but yet Health Market structure is such that you encourage and help each other. Through the lead system they have, there's no competition. As a matter of fact, probably double agents and still not satisfy the need that today's consumer has for accurate health insurance information. There's no concern on any of our part. As a matter of fact, we just can't get to all the clients. So come on in, the water's fine.
It's your choice how you want to take your business, where you want to do it, how you want to grow it. It's your baby. Health Markets has unlimited resources. I worked at many jobs before where they didn't have the resources that I needed to be as successful as I would like to be. At Health Markets, I call it a mini franchise. All you have to do is plug and play. It's all there for you, from leads to websites to Facebook to training. You can do your whole career and learn everything you ever needed to learn right there from our resource center.
I find a lot of gratitude in this job because I'm able to, on a daily basis, help individuals. The money that I'm able to save their families and the protection that I'm able to give them has been very rewarding for me personally, because I have a huge heart towards helping and serving others, and this job definitely has given me the opportunity to meet that need for myself in serving them and taking care of their families.
I like to say that we cover you from head to toe, including your eyes and teeth, without costing you an arm and a leg. That's the Health Markets difference.
Welcome back to PNC Arena here in Raleigh, North Carolina, home of the Carolina Hurricanes, and site tonight of the Governor's Cup. Chris Lehman, John Johnson with you as the North Carolina Tar Heels and the NC State Icepack get ready to start things off here in the first period. NC State in the white, Carolina in the blue, and we're underway. Tar Heels going to get it deep and go on the forecheck. That's the most important thing here for the Tar Heels tonight, getting in on the forecheck, making it difficult on this Icepack team to break out and get in on the offensive end. Out into neutral ice it goes. Tar Heels in control. Ryan Hogan moves it forward for Foster, in on goal, and it'll be, well, it looked like it was going to be swallowed up there by Griffin Hunt. He'll leave it off, and play will continue. Held up at the NC State blue line, swept back in by John Miglior. Hunt will set it on a tee. That's Don Johnson.
Good first shift for the UNC Tar Heels. Good offensive pressure. They've pretty much spent that whole shift down in NC State zone.
And they're still there. Leighton Walsh lugs it in behind the net. Bodies up with Johnson. A little bit more pressure there from Miles Ferrone. They'll battle for it in that far corner. NC State comes away with it, and now they'll move up and out across the red line. It'll be brought in now by Chris Solomon, one of the best goal scorers in the ACHA Division II level this year. Powers to the net, big hit in the corner, and we're going to get a quick penalty, and that's an easy call to make.
That is a good start for UNC, good offensive pressure. We talked about that forecheck, and they really established that well in that very first shift, getting puck in deep, putting pressure on the defenseman for NC State, and most importantly, forcing them to turn. It's really unnerving as a defenseman not to be able to see the players coming at you when you have to play that puck.
So the ever-important first power play of the game going to come just a minute and 14 seconds in, and it's going to be Chris Solomon. I didn't see the signal, I would imagine, either for a rough or for a hit from behind, but it will be a 2-minute man advantage for the Tar Heels. Misha Saboden to take the face-off, but it's won by NC State, cleared off a body and out into neutral ice. Retreating for it is Henry Foster. At his own blue line, he'll lug it back forward into the zone and down that far left wing. Cycles behind, a little bit extra space here to work with for the Tar Heels. Left behind for Mahan. Off the wall and back up top for Walsh. Has trouble handling, it's out of the zone.
You'll notice this top power play unit's a little bit unusual. It's all forwards. Normally you would see at least one defenseman out there, but I think coach is looking for a little more offensive power on the power play.
Saboden headmans the puck. It's dispossessed by Zarek and sent back in. He'll take control once again to the middle of the ice. Chance here potentially for the Icepack, and a wrister wide from Garrett Arini. That'll give the Tar Heels numbers moving forward. Here's Beeson with a shot into the glove of Griffin Hunt. He'll hold on and give a shot to Beeson coming in. Well, fans who came here to see a little bit of pushing and shoving, JJ, have seen a little bit here early.
Sure have. They're off to what we would expect when you get two top rivals facing off against each other in front of a big crowd. A little extra testosterone flying, a little shove by the goalie just to show him who's boss in the blue paint there.
So it'll be another offensive zone face-off here for the Tar Heels. They've been good in the face-off circle here early.
Second power play unit is out, and this is actually a more traditional unit with two defensemen back, anchored by Daniel Jones.
Friedman on the draw, and a big pile up into the boards. We're going to play on as a couple of bodies go flying into the boards over there. Now Daniel Jones, cross-ice pass, one-timer, and it whistles wide off the stick of Friedman, and it will cycle all the way around and out. It'll be picked up by Simon Malone.
That type of opportunity you just saw there is what UNC wants on its power play. It's running a 1-3-1, which means it's going to have really three forwards across the center portion of the ice, trying to set up each of the wings on the far sides for a good one-time shot.
The Washington Capitals were in this building yesterday. It looked a little bit like kind of setup you see for
pretty
number
similar,
8.
Yep. The grade 8 often will play that role that we just saw UNC playing over on the right corner there.
Friedman, who had that one-timer, in control in that far corner. Works it back behind. Carlson back up to the point, and it's out of the zone. Down to 10 seconds left on the power play. Pretty solid kill from the Icepack. They haven't really given a lot to the Tar Heels in the offensive end early. And Solomon back onto the ice as the power play expires. It's 5-on-5 hockey again. Tar Heels in on the forecheck. Ferrone there for the Icepack. A couple of Tar Heels down there, one of which is Zach Mangle, putting pressure on Ferrone. Can't dispossess, and here goes Solomon with speed. He's got a man coming with him, Riley Johnson from the far circle. Nice blocker saved by Douthit, and it'll be chipped back up and out by the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that previous entry into the zone, you saw it by Zach Mangle, a really good example of an aggressive forecheck, trying to create a turnover. Just didn't quite work out, but that's what you want to see.
NC State is not set up yet in the UNC zone, and we're going to get a whistle here. They're going to get a chance to with what I imagine will be an interference penalty on the Tar Heels. Looks like it'll go against number 66, Wills Kendrick Holmes, who made a hit a little bit late. And actually, it looks like they'll give him a roughing call on that one. Either way, it's a 2-minute power play for a pretty potent special teams unit on the NC State side.
Yeah, this is not the situation you want to put yourself in. It's a great first 4 minutes for UNC, but the real test is going to come here penalty kill against a team that really knows how to capitalize. NC State's been averaging at least 6 goals in the past 10 games, and you don't want to give them any of these types of opportunities, especially early.
Deflected shot from the point from Hugo. We settled down but not cleared by the Tar Heel penalty kill. Now Daniel Jones has a chance to ice it, and he'll send it all the way down and kill off a little bit of time. Good start there to the power play, even though they don't win the faceoff for UNC, or the penalty kill, I should say. Icepack back up with some speed. It's Riley Johnson dancing past Daniel Jones and behind the net. Nice job by Jones, even though he doesn't shut him down, to force him wide and around the back.
It's good. I've also noticed Coach decided to put Henry Foster out there, who's the top scorer for UNC. So you've got a little bit of an offensive threat, shorthanded. He's just coming off the ice there. Good initial part to the penalty kill.
First one to it is Brian Hogan for UNC. Wastes a little bit more time before NC State brings it out. Here comes Parker Zarek, darting to the net, and he scores. Slides it around Douthit, and it's 1-0 just under 5 minutes into this hockey game.
Yeah, it was a good rush wide with the zone carry in by the NC State player there. I'm sorry, I didn't see who scored.
It was Parker Zarek. We'll get another.
Parker Zarek, yeah. So Parker Zarek comes in. You see Daniel Jones. He gets a little bit caught as he's doing his backward crossover. Just can't pivot and open up. And as a result, Zarek is able to really drag across the back of him, go back to front, and put it in far side.
Tough one for Douthit to deal with there, and so a 1-0 lead for NC State. Zarek, one of the leaders on the Icepack squad. Coach Healy, an article that was released today in the NC State newspaper, The Technician, touted his speed, and you got a good look at it there. So we'll see how North Carolina is able to respond. They've had a pretty good forecheck 5-on-5. They've certainly had the advantage so far, and a nice pinch here to hold the zone by Jack Gleason. He'll dump it deep. Into the corner they go, Saboden. Backhands it to the point for Malone. Rink wide, Gleason on the ice, loose in front, still there. They battle for it, it's in skates, out. Gleason with the one-timer, it hits a body and deflects wide. Good pressure here from the Tar Heels.
Great pressure, great traffic in front of the net.
Thrown towards net, it's off a body in front. That was Jackson Cowan who blocked it. He's got it back behind his own cage. To the near side.
Their last matchup, both goals were scored just like that. UNC in front of the net, dirty goals. And I think that's how you're going to have to score tonight.
Now NC State on the attack. They'll cycle with it. That's Joey Davidson lugging it around the boards. He'll dump it deep and turn it over. Tar Heels back with it. Up the wall, Leighton Walsh. He takes a big hit in front of his own bench. It's turned over, and the Icepack can come back the other way. In comes Alex Fong. He'll be shadowed there by Justin Maggin. Back to the point. Shot whistles high and catches the glass behind the net. Pinching in is Ferrone to keep it deep for the Icepack. Nice hit laid back behind by Wills Kendrick Holmes. And he'll lay another one.
Good physical play by Holmes.
So a 4-man scrum, and the boys in blue will come away with it. Friedman looking down, takes a bit of a hit, and the Icepack bring it right back into the zone. In comes Fong. He'll dump it back behind, chasing after it. Drew Bressingham feeling some pressure from Maggin again. Icepack with a chance, and it's off the crossbar. Oh, they thought it went in, but play will continue. Didn't hear the pipe.
Did not. It definitely looked like it came right back out. It was a nice backhand, was elevated. Didn't hear any pipe, so who knows, possibility that it went in, but it was not called a goal on the ice.
We'll see if the in-house feed gives us a replay here or not. There's a good look at the would-be goal scorer, Joey Davidson. He thought he had it.
Davidson certainly thought he did. It was a great look. He walked in. Defenseman was just a little bit flat-footed there, and he was able to go to his backhand, but no goal.
And so play continues off the face-off, and ooh, they just gave another look at it from up top. But no replay here in this game, so doesn't matter. Call on the ice stands, and the Icepack will get another chance anyhow. In they come. Shot stopped by Douthit. He'll hold it between that glove arm and his chest protector. The shot there coming from number 26, Colby Peterson.
So you got the top line for NC State out there. Peterson comes in, tries to go glove side on Douthit. Douthit really sees, squares up well on the puck, makes a nice glove save.
We didn't talk too much about the Tar Heel netminder before this game started. He is a huge key to the success of this North Carolina team. And they'll need him to have another big game here today, or tonight, to keep this one interesting. Another delayed penalty on the Tar Heels. Glove save made by Douthit. And the Icepack, who are already 1 for 1 on the power play, will get another chance on the man advantage.
Douthit made a nice glove save there with traffic in front of him. Douthit brings a lot of senior leadership to the team. Experienced veteran, one of the better ACC goalies. You know, as a coach, you want a goalie who makes the saves that he should, and Douthit does that. And Douthit also makes a lot of exceptional saves. So he's very, very reliable.
So a 2-minute man advantage here for NC State. They'll win the draw to open up the power play. Alex Robinson up top. He'll be at the top of the umbrella. Along to the near side, Peterson looks cross ice. Hits a Tar Heel stick, but the Icepack maintain control. Robinson up top again. Back down the wall for Peterson. Throws it in front, looking for a deflection. He got it, but it was deflected wide by Matt Miller. Over to the far corner. They'll work it back to the top of the umbrella. Robinson shot, hit a stick on the way through and deflects wide. And Miller will get back to it once again. A slow-moving power play here to start for the Icepack. About 12 minutes left in this first period. Peterson looking for a shooting lane. Blocked in front nicely. And it'll be cleared up and out by the Tar Heels. Not very far, though, by Simon Malone. He gets a little bit more help. And it'll be sent all the way down by David Mahan.
Excellent block by Leighton Walsh, getting his body right in the shooter's lane and effectively getting that puck out of the zone.
About halfway through the power play now for the Icepack. Robinson walking it down, sends it out in front from behind the net, and a pad save made by Douthit.
Excellent save by Douthit. That's a good reaction save on a puck that shouldn't have been there in the first place. Really good save.
Parker Zarek along the wall. Back for Robinson at the blue line. Has a man open top of the far circle. Shot. Rebound left there. Zarek's shot is sticked away by Douthit. Couple of good chances there for the Icepack. Chris Solomon had the initial shot.
And you see the Icepack running a really similar 1-3-1, although pretty stationary. Really taking time to set up their shot and got a good quality opportunity, but Douthit really strong in the net.
Here's Riley Johnson, high slot, drags, sends it over to the far circle. Here's the shot, they score. Douthit wasn't ready for that one. A nifty move from Riley Johnson. Douthit was committed to that near post, and it's sent back across for Chris Solomon, who makes it 2-0.
Yeah, Chris Solomon, third leading goal scorer in Division II, really has a fantastic shot. And a lot of that goal set up by Garrett Arian, who is there right in front of the net, creating traffic in front of Will Douthit, taking away a little bit of his sight line. You see him there tied up with Justin McGinn. And it results in another power play goal.
This will be a gut check time in this game here early for the Tar Heels. Couple of goals in the last about 5 minutes of play after they had really controlled, for the most part, the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I think what you see is, 5-on-5, this team can match up well. What you don't want to do is give a really high-skilled team like NC State too many opportunities on the power play, because they're going to capitalize.
Closing in on the halfway point of this first period. Douthit out of his net to play a loose puck, banks it off the wall where it can be collected by Joe Miglior. Turned over though, stuffed chance, they score. This time it's Zach Robinson, and just like that, it's 3-0.
So some puck pressure by NC State creates a turnover. Zach Robinson essentially just takes it out of the corner there and walks it in. Was able to go 5-hole on Douthit, not picked up in front of the net. And at this point, this is what we talked about. That first 10 minutes, we knew State was going to come out hard. They're playing in front of essentially a home crowd. A lot of their players really want to show their skill level to all their fans out there, family and friends. And now you find yourself in a 3-0 hole. So it's going to be really important for Coach Volkman to start to calm his team down and just focus on the next shift.
Ought to be carried out here by Henry Foster. Goes through a sea of white jerseys, can't take the puck with him though. Icepack will turn it right back. Drew Bresingham takes a big hit, and Foster collects, but we've got another penalty upcoming. This is a little bit puzzling. They're going to call interference. It certainly looked like the puck was there.
It did look like a good legal check, and I'm not sure if it's the angle at which he caught him that bothered the referee or not. we see a replay, maybe we can tell a little more, but definitely a call that's on the edge there and very unfortunate.
I think the most puzzling thing here, at least, is the interference call, because again, the puck was right in there.
Right. Yeah, it should not be an interference call of any sort. If anything, it's a roughing call or a potential boarding call from behind, but definitely not an interference call.
It looks like they're going to take a TV timeout here. So both teams will head to their benches before we get this power play started. It'll be the third of the period for NC State when we come back. Chris Lehman, John Johnson back with you here at PNC Arena. 2-minute power play coming up for the Icepack after an interference call against the Tar Heels. A little bit puzzling for us up here in the booth, but it'll be the third power play for NC State. They're 2 for 2 already, and they'll go right back to work. Riley Johnson with the shot from the high slot, sticked away by Douthit, and they'll chase it down in the far corner. Icepack come away with it. Bodied up behind the net, puck squirts loose. Wills Kendrick Holmes gets to it and clears it all the way down.
Now you'll see State try to set up this power play. They've got Chris Solomon anchoring the right and Zarek anchoring the left. And both of them have scored on the power play. So really, you want to try to get as many clear bodies in the lane and try to prevent those guys from setting up for a good one-timer.
Here come the Icepack. Victor Hugo down the left wing. He'll hold up around the hashes, battles for the puck with Mahan. Turns into a 4-man scrub. Icepack knock it loose. It's Riley Johnson in the near corner. He'll cycle it back to the point. Hugo. Down the wall for Zarek, into the middle for Johnson. Quick little pass over. Here's Solomon with a wrister. That deflected wide of the net. And the Icepack continue on the power play. Arini back to the point for Hugo. Over to Solomon, top of the right circle. Goes rink wide for Zarek. Down low for Arini again, looking to the middle. Nobody in the slot, and Leighton Walsh is able to clear out for the Tar Heels.
Nice clear. Now it sounds like a platitude, but at this point, if you're a coach, you want to be really focused on just one shift at a time, telling your players, hey, go out, give me a good minute and 30 seconds. Obviously, we have to get through this penalty kill and not looking ahead. Really, at this point, you're just happy to get off the ice with no goals, get your team settled down.
Just about another goal there for the Icepack. Noah Friedman tried to wrap it around behind. Hit a skate and it popped out in front, but the Tar Heels dodge a bullet there. Matt Miller back to Peterson. Down to the last 8 seconds of the power play for the Icepack. Cross ice pass for Peterson. On and off of his stick. He'll take it off the wall. Takes a hit from Friedman and tries to send it down low, but the Tar Heels able to clear it up the wall. And now out. Henry Foster fresh onto the ice. Will bring it down the right wing. He's going to be dragged down. Another penalty upcoming. This one against NC State. And it'll be the second power play for the Tar Heels.
Well, that's some good fortune for UNC. Hopefully we can get our power play established, get a goal here, and get back into the game.
This is going to be a really important power play as well. You're down 3-0, a chance to fight back here a little bit and cut into that lead. It'll be Misha Sabotin to take the face-off up against NC State's Alex Fong.
Coach Volkman's going with 5 forwards on this power play, so a little vulnerability at the point, but a little extra offensive firepower, and it's a good trade-off at this point in the game.
From the middle of the blue line, shot goes wide. They'll battle for it along the side of the net. Tar Heels trying to stuff it in, but NC State not going to let that happen. Still loose, pops out over the net, and they score!
There we go. And that's all due just to mucking and grinding in front of the net.
And it took a little bit of an awkward bounce. I'm not sure what the puck hit, but it popped up over the net behind the back of the goaltender, Griffin Hunt. We'll get a good look at it here at this scrum.
Griffin Hunt probably makes 3 or 4 stops right there on the side of the net, and then the puck's going to take a strange bounce up into the front. Kramer gets his stick on it, fans a little bit, and Sabotin is able to tap it in.
So a big goal for the Tar Heels here on the power play, and it's now 3-1 NC State. And the Tar Heels will control off the draw, losing an edge for North Carolina's Jack Gleason. That will allow NC State to set up in the offensive end. Back at the blue line, Ferrone shot hits a body. Chance to break loose for the Tar Heels here. But they'll have to slow things up, and now it's intercepted at the red line. Brought right back in by Bressingham. He'll throw one off of Douthit, and it deflects to the far corner. Bressingham first to it. Takes a hit from Friedman and holds onto the puck. Back to Ferrone. Wrapped around the net and into the near corner. First one there for North Carolina is Malone. Couple of white jerseys in there on him. They'll scrum for it along the wall. And the Tar Heels able to lift it up to the blue line, but held in by Ricky Frosch. He bodies a man up as he holds the zone. Now it's Alex Fong in control for the Icepack. Pestered in that near corner and knocked off the puck. And now UNC can bring it up and out. They'll lift it in and go for the change. That was Zach Mengel getting it deep. Ferrone the first to it. He's going to run a stretch pass forward. And a nice defensive play there from Kendrick Holmes to deflect it up and out of play.
Well, to go back to that goal, it was really set up at the outset by Hogan getting the puck at the point, having some time, and just getting it low on the net. As a defenseman or playing in that defensive spot, you don't need to score. You just need to get that puck low in a position where your forwards down low can start to work and make life miserable for the goalie and the defenseman. And that's exactly what happened.
Face-off on top of the UNC blue line. It'll be won by the Tar Heels, but they're not going to be able to hold on to control of it. Icepack in neutral ice. They'll lift it deep. First one that's going to get to it as Eric Todd throws it on the net. Loose rebound out in the slot. Here's another chance and a big save made by Douthit as the puck still sitting in that slot area. It'll squirt to the far side where Ben Reese can get to it, and he'll lift it up and out.
Fantastic reaction saved by Douthit on that second shot, coming across, scoring up in the middle, showing a lot of athleticism there.
Kendrick Holmes will get it deep. Jackson Cowan in control for the Icepack. Now to be lifted up and out by Don Johnson. And taken off the wall by Zach Robinson. Has some trouble with the bouncing puck though, and now the Tar Heels can turn it back the other way. Here goes Hogan, trying to dance through the defense. Gets it deep and chases it down, sends it behind the net. Nobody there in a blue jersey though. On the forecheck, Foster pestering Jackson Cowan down there. Cowan comes away with the puck. He'll outlet it to the far side, and NC State brings it up and out. Good defensive play there from Justin Maggin. Tar Heels a chance to move forward again. Hogan once more, steps through, pokes it on net, and it's swatted away by Griffin Hunt. Excellent work there from Ben Hogan.
Really nice stick work, was able to get by the defenseman and get a good scoring opportunity.
Tar Heels still on the attack. Hogan again, and a blocker save made by Griffin Hunt. Beeson sends it back behind. Back up the wall, Beeson will battle again. Knocks down Charles Monteith into the corner. He'll battle now with Hugo. Beeson knocked down, and another penalty on NC State here. What has been a penalty-filled first period.
It has. I mean, you expect that from these two teams when they meet. A little extra aggression between both teams, and it's coming out on the ice. As a coach, it makes you frustrated. As a player, you just sort of see it as the normal tempo of the game. I think they're calling Kramer here potentially for interference.
And it looked like they had blown the whistle when NC State had touched the puck, but it will be a penalty against number 14, Brian Hogan. And so this NC State power play, which is 2 for 3 here in the first period, will get a fourth chance here with 4:35 to go. It'll be Leighton Walsh to take the draw up against Parker Zarek. Loose puck in this circle, taken by Walsh, clears it back to the blue line, knocked down by Hugo. He'll find Riley Johnson, down for Arini. Solomon across to Zarek. Up top, one-timer from Hugo. Not sure if it got to Douthit. He was squared up on the shot either way. Riley Johnson battling through a couple of blue jerseys. Can't hold on to the puck, though. And it'll be chased down on that far boards and then cleared out to neutral ice by Jack Gleason.
Excellent clear there. Excellent start to the penalty kill.
Icepack trying to catch the UNC penalty kill on a change. They'll get it deep. Riley Johnson back for Solomon. Up top for Hugo. Down into the near corner, it's Zarek. Slips it across, one-time shot. Douthit's got it sealed down low, and he'll hold on for the face-off with 1:15 to go on the man advantage.
Another good save by Douthit. NC State doing what they want, which is getting traffic in front of them and throwing a puck to the net there. But Douthit strong in the net.
3:49 to go in the period, 1:15 to go on the Icepack man advantage. As Eric Todd of NC State gets set to face off against North Carolina's Henry Foster. Foster wins the draw. Wills Kendrick Holmes brings it around the boards, but not out. It'll be held in by Alex James. Has been a strong freshman defenseman for this Icepack squad. They'll work with it along the wall. Pestered there by Foster. Kicks it loose. Foster has control, and he's going to carry it out himself. Doesn't have the numbers, so he'll send it in, but he's going to give chase in. He'll be the first one to get a stick to it. Nice effort there from Foster to kill some more time.
Excellent job by Foster, killing a few extra seconds by carrying that puck out. Sometimes there's a temptation just to get rid of that puck and just setting it down the ice. But you can actually use a few more seconds, help your teammates catch their breath by carrying that out to the center of the ice and then dumping it in.
And now Noah Friedman knocks Colby Peterson off the puck, and the Tar Heels' Justin Magan will send it down. Peterson again for NC State. Oh, bring it into the offensive end. Closed off there along the near wall. It'll be shoveled up by Daniel Jones, and the bouncing puck gets into neutral ice.
It was a really good job by Beeson of using the blue line as an additional defender. He's got a slow moving forward so he can stay at the blue line and really contest that entry into the zone.
Power play coming to an end for NC State. They started 2 for 2. They're 0 for 2 since then, as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with Hogan out of the sin bin. Along the near wall, NC State in control. Davidson sweeps it along into the middle. Daniel Jones intercepts that pass. They'll send it out to the red line. It'll be picked up again by Davidson. And NC State will look to break it out. Alex Robinson, very versatile player on the NC State roster. He can play up front or back in the defensive pairing. He'll be dispossessed, but Alex Fong collects the loose puck. Fong down the right wing, has it poked away by Jones. Davidson tees it up from the top of the right circle, and it rings all the way around the boards and out. Chance here on a 2-on-1 for the Tar Heels. In comes Reese, sends it to the middle, and the bouncing puck hops the stick of Zach Mangle, and that chance will go by the wayside for North Carolina, and NC State back the other way. But it looks like there'll be offsides coming in as Drew Bresingham slowed up, crossing the blue line.
Great 2-on-1. You saw some good team speed out of Reese, and Mangle unfortunately just gets a bouncing puck that's just impossible to handle. It goes right over his stick. Really no fault of his own. Sometimes that happens, but a really good scoring opportunity there.
I don't know if the puck's maybe a little bit warm. We've seen a lot of bouncing pucks here early.
We have. I mean, we've had a lot of skating up and down the ice. The ice is getting a little torn up here, and we've got a minute 45 before the next ice clean, so you will see the puck bounce a little bit more at the end of the period.
Icepack in control. Collected by Charles Monteith, who gains the blue line and sends it behind the Tar Heel cage. First one to it for UNC is Malone. Simon Malone around for Gleason. He finds Leighton Walsh, who chips it into the neutral zone. Tar Heels will battle for it along the red line, right over there by the penalty boxes. Monteith knocked off the puck by Mahan. UNC back in control. David Mahan has a lane to skate it up. Sends it off the back wall, bouncing puck out into the slot. Bad touch there, and a quick chance for the Tar Heels, but Griffin Hunt able to smother it, and it'll be an offensive zone draw here for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, a little unusual bounce off the back wall. Griffin Hunt smothers it. I think NC State's a little bit upset anytime somebody comes close to your goalie, but you like to get a little bit of the goalie's face, just to let him know you're there, that his day's not going to be an easy one of unobstructed sight lines.
Certainly early, we saw it in the first minute or so, that little shove after the iced puck by Griffin Hunt. So, he doesn't like having anyone up in his grill either. And so you want to get there and just frustrate him a little bit. Tar Heels win the draw. Quick shot, whistles wide. It'll be held in on the near point by Wills Kendrick Holmes. He has it taken away by Colby Peterson. Here come the Icepack. Chris Solomon, top of the left circle, sends it across, off the wall, looking for Matt Miller. Colby Peterson will battle for it now. Cleared out by the Tar Heels. Well done by Kendrick Holmes. And they send it all the way back behind the NC State goal. Don Johnson in control for State. Up for Miller at the blue line. Drops it back for Johnson. Dances around Foster, and he's going to carry it through the neutral zone. In he comes, and he sends it right into the logo on Douthit's jersey. He'll hold on for the face-off with 31 seconds to go.
Relatively easy save for Douthit. He's able to see the puck well, score up on it, make the save.
All right, you get a look there at Don Johnson, and that's one of the things that makes this Icepack team tough to deal with. Their defensemen jump up in the rush. They can do a great job playing that style of hockey.
Yeah, the Pack defensemen are very good at contribute offensively. They do exceptionally well once the puck's established in the zone. You'll see them be able to really move along the blue line well and set up the forwards. Another great save by Douthit.
And Douthit snags that one-timer from the far circle, and he'll hold on to it for another draw. And even though you had that tough stretch for the Tar Heels where they gave up 3 goals in about 5.5 minutes, outside of that, they played even, maybe have had a little bit of an edge against this Icepack team.
I think really, at the end of the day, Coach Volkman wants his team to play 5-on-5. And so you need to play smarter if you want to beat this NC State team. So that's going to be something they're going to talk about at the intermission here when they're in the locker room. 5-on-5 is where you want to be. You don't want it to turn into a skills contest with each of the special teams units out there.
Maybe one more chance here for NC State before we hit the end of the period. Down to 5 seconds to go as that puck's tipped into the far corner. And maybe one last shot. Going to run out of time, though, and that will finish off the first 20 minutes of this one. Tar Heels got off to a good start, but a tough 5-minute stretch has left them behind 3-1 after the first period. And, John, as we were saying there towards the end of the period, there was a little bit of a tough stretch, but not a bad first period from UNC.
No, I think it could be worse. You took NC State's top shot, right? They scored 3 goals, and that can really demoralize a team. A lot of teams will frankly just quit. This is the #1 team in the Southeast, right? They're #1 for a reason because they can bury a team. And so you saw a lot of resilience from UNC there, especially coming out on the power play and scoring and getting themselves back within 2. And then really 5-on-5, you want to emphasize how well you've done. And that's where you want to focus. You want to eliminate those costly errors, those costly penalties in the second period, and try to focus on a good 5-on-5 game.
So a 3-1 lead for NC State after 20 minutes. We'll be right back here at PNC Arena.
Advice for future agents. Oh, hold on to your seat, guys. It's gonna be an amazing ride. It's tough at first. That first year is always tough, but you work hard and you can play hard. So if you can just stick with it, especially through that first year, every year after will be very abundant. So don't give up. This is a long ride, not a little short one.
You come to us with a license, a phone, a car, a laptop, work ethic and personality, and your businesses can grow from there.
The foundation, the leads, the leadership. I feel like the leadership here is great at Health Markets, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a great opportunity for any individual that would like to be in sales.
Do not minimize the power of the collective. When one has an issue, we all work on it and we figure it out. And that was something that was unique to me, to be in a room where everybody's competitive, but yet Health Market structure is such that you encourage and help each other. Through the lead system they have, there's no competition. As a matter of fact, probably double agents and still not satisfy the need that today's consumer has for accurate health insurance information. There's no concern on any of our part. As a matter of fact, we just can't get to all the clients. So come on in, the water's fine.
It's your choice how you want to take your business, where you want to do it, how you want to grow it. It's your baby. Health Markets has unlimited resources. I worked at many jobs before where they didn't have the resources that I needed to be as successful as I would like to be. At Health Markets, I call it a mini franchise. All you have to do is plug and play. It's all there for you, from leads to websites to Facebook to training. You can do your whole career and learn everything you ever needed to learn right there from our resource center.
I find a lot of gratitude in this job because I'm able to, on a daily basis, help individuals. The money that I'm able to save their families and the protection that I'm able to give them has been very rewarding for me personally, because I have a huge heart towards helping and serving others, and this job definitely has given me the opportunity to meet that need for myself in serving them and taking care of their families.
I like to say that we cover you from head to toe, including your eyes and teeth, without costing you an arm and a leg. That's the Health Markets difference.
Chris Lehman, John Johnson back with you here at PNC Arena. 20 minutes gone in the Governor's Cup. It is a 3-1 lead for NC State over your North Carolina Tar Heels. There are some good things to talk about, though, with this North Carolina team particularly. They got out and asserted themselves on the forecheck there in the first 5 minutes of the game and had the edge early.
They did. So 5-on-5 in the first 5 minutes, they really were playing their game. They were aggressive on their forecheck, creating some turnovers, and they spent a lot of time, especially on their first 2 shifts, establishing themselves in the NC State zone. And then it became a game of special teams. And as we saw, special teams tended to favor NC State simply because they had more opportunities. 4 power play opportunities resulted in 2 goals. UNC was able to come back, stabilize itself, and capitalize on one of their power play opportunities.
Yeah, and as you talked about early on in the broadcast, one of the most important things for this North Carolina team when it comes to goal scoring is getting down in the dirty areas, mucking it up, as you said, and that's how they picked up that first goal.
They sure did. So, I think this team really benefits when they get down in front and obstruct the sight lines for the goalie. We saw that in their last matchup against NC State. Both of the goals were scored from about 2 feet away. We saw that this time. A nice shot from the point, gets the puck down low. There's 3 UNC players creating chaos, and what happens? You get a nice lucky bounce, it comes in, and it's a tap-in goal. So really good work down in the paint, and that's where they need to be, making those defensemen and the goalie uncomfortable, because that adds up during the course of a game. right? You start to get a little bit in the goalie's mind and the defenseman's mind. Every defenseman wants an easier game where they don't have to do a lot of pushing and shoving in front of the net.
Yeah, and one other key to this game for North Carolina that we've talked about, but a pretty good first period, even though he gives up 3 goals. Will Douthit also made some big saves.
Well, Will Douthit made some exceptional saves. 2 of his goals are on the power play. You really can't fault him for that. NC State was set up in their 1-3-1 and executed well. Douthit is seeing the puck well. We saw him flash the leather and make 5 good glove saves at least. He's really scoring up. He also stopped at least 2 really good scoring opportunities on second chance rebound opportunities. And really, I think he's playing a sound game, a better game visually and positionally than what we saw from the NC State goal.
While it is a 3-1 lead for NC State, still plenty of good things coming from the Tar Heels, and still 40 minutes left in this contest. We'll be back with more coverage of North Carolina and NC State right after this. Right back here at PNC Arena, Chris Lehman, John Johnson with you. UNC trailing 3-1 to NC State right now. We've got some highlights from period number 1 to take a look at here. We'll get them rolling right now.
Governor's Cup between the Icepack and the Tar Heels here at PNC Arena.
And in the bottom line, the 4th line, Joey Davidson, Alex Fong, and Drew Brett. And then starting in goal, we'll have Griffin Hunt. Take it away, Max, for UNC.
Veteran goaltender Griffin Hunt between the pipes tonight for NC State. Now for the Tar Heels, Jeff Volkman's squad. Foster, Brian Hogan, and John Beeson. Misha Sabotin
with the puck
Leighton
drop.
Walsh and David Mahan. That one's certainly one to watch. Mahan and Walsh make a...
And now we'll get a look at some of the action. And this is the first goal we had. A lot of speed there from Parker Zark.
You saw him take the puck wide. You saw Daniel Jones get a little bit forward on his skates as he's going into his backwards crossover. And he got caught just a little bit there. It allowed Zark get behind him and drag across the front of the net and go front to back for an easy goal.
Yeah, and this was the first of 2 power play goals for the Icepack in period number 1. And you get another look at the speed here from Parker Zark. Here is the second power play goal from Chris Solomon.
Well, Chris Solomon's a sniper. He scored from almost the exact same position in their last matchup in the 3rd period. So he's an exceptionally accurate shooter. That's why he has 20. That's his 22nd goal on the season. And just really, good execution. You can see Noah Friedman, I think, is just a little bit out of place, creates just a little bit enough space that Solomon could capitalize.
And a great job here. You get one more look at Riley Johnson. Drew everybody's attention and then found Solomon with a pretty wide open net to put it in. And here's the third one. Didn't take long after goal number 2, and it was a bit of a miscue that led to this one.
Well, it's a miscue. It's just a bad clear up the walls. It's just one of those ones where if you just take an extra second and see that the wall outlet that you're going up is cut off, then you're not going to make that throw up the wall. Eric Todd ends up intercepting that pass there. Real quick return to Zach Robinson, who skates right in front of the net and puts it in on the far side.
Yeah, but then NC State had to kill off a penalty, and a little bit of an awkward bounce there leads to the first goal of the game for the Tar Heels.
And that's what you like to see. That's the type of goal that UNC needs to score. A lot of traffic in front of the net. Started with a nice point shot that came in low. You know, really on a power play, you want to encourage your people up at the defensive spots to throw in that puck low. There's a temptation to go high and pick corners, but you get that puck low, it's staying down in there, and now you see 4, 5 chances probably with the Wolfpack defenseman trying to clear that puck out, and then you just get a nice fortunate bounce.
Yeah, that right there, I'd say the definition of puck luck.
Yep.
And NC State gives up that first goal, but Tar Heels weren't done. A couple of great chances there. That one from Brian Hogan.
Yeah, Brian Hogan really came in, showed some fancy stick work, and this was just an unfortunate break with the puck bouncing over Zach Mengel's stick towards the end of the period on the rough ice.
So it is a 3-1 lead for the Icepack after 20 minutes. We're going to step aside for a moment. We'll come back and talk about the adjustments that this Tar Heel team needs to make as we head into period 2 right after this. Only a couple minutes left in intermission here at PNC Arena. Chris Lehman, John Johnson back with you as we get set for period number 2 of the Governor's Cup. Before we get to that second period, let's take a look or talk about at least some of the adjustments that this Tar Heel team needs to make, JJ, as we get set for period number 2. Special teams, I think, is a big one.
Yeah, I think there's one major adjustment. You know, and as coaches, we talk about 3 facets to win: brains, heart, and skill. And you don't control skill, and we're seeing plenty of heart from the UNC team. What you want to see is smarter play, eliminating penalties. We want to keep this a 5-on-5 game. We don't want it to turn into a skills competition, which is what essentially a power play is. And so 5-on-5, you've seen UNC limit opportunities for NC State, really stifle that top line, and 5-on-5, it's a 1-0 game, which any coach will take. And so if we can play a more disciplined game in the second period, I really think that that's really a key to getting this game back into a reasonable state where we can tie it back up.
Well, you hear the boos coming. That can only mean one thing from an NC State-centric crowd. The Tar Heels headed back onto the ice. Will be set for period number 2's puck drop in just a moment.
Get a look there at Will Douthit as we get set to start period number 2. Chris Lehman, John Johnson back with you at PNC Arena for the second period of the Governor's Cup. 3-1 lead right now for the NC State Icepack over your North Carolina Tar Heels. But a good showing in that first 20 minutes, and we'll see if the Tar Heels can build on it. Two teams will switch directions. State in, well, hold on. It looks like the clock didn't quite start on time, and so I think they're going to redo this opening faceoff.
So we'd like to see UNC really get more traffic in front of the net. They had about 7 good scoring opportunities, good shots, getting down low, creating some traffic in front, taking away sight lines, scoring those dirty goals just like they got on the first goal.
So they'll restart with about 6 seconds off of the clock to start period number 2. This time Tar Heels win the draw. They'll send it deep. First one to it, Henry Foster wraps it back behind the net. It'll be sent along by Victor Hugo, held in at the line, though, by John Miglior. Miglior in the corner, puck squirts loose in the slot. Chance here for Beeson, pad save, made the rebound, they score. 23 seconds into period number 2, it's Beeson cutting the lead to 1.
That's exactly the start you wanted. You saw a good forecheck established by UNC, getting the puck in deep, creating a turnover. Beeson takes advantage of that turnover, walks it in, and I don't know if he scores on the first or on the rebound, but really setting himself up for a nice quality scoring chance that he eventually puts away here.
And you see the good pressure in the corner creates that turnover, and all you got to do is get it to the net.
Second chance opportunity, follows his own shot right in. Rebound's kicked out straight to him. Excellent goal, and you're back in this game, 3-2.
And it is worth reminding you that this NC State team, we've talked about top team in the region. They've actually displaced a couple perennial Southeast region powerhouses in Liberty University and Florida Gulf Coast. And on top of that, they're only a 1/10 of a point behind Mary University for the top spot in the country. So this is a strong showing right now from the Tar Heels, who had some struggles in their first game against NC State back in early September, but they've done a great job since then, and you can see the confidence. Confidence was one thing that Coach Boltman mentioned a lot in the post-game talk after that 10-3 loss at Wake Competition Center. There's confidence in this UNC team right now.
There is. I think that early November matchup gave them the confidence to believe that they can play with the team, because NC State this is a benchmark game for an improving UNC program. Right? UNC comes in 10-6. But really, NC State has established themselves as sort of a New England Patriots-style team, right? Perennially at the top of the conference, at the top of the division. And you need to beat a program like this to help you with your recruiting, to help with your confidence, and to really to put you on a trajectory for winning not just this season, but in seasons to come.
And talking to Coach Volkman about the fact that this Tar Heels team is ranked for the first time in program history in the region at 17 right now, and the top 2 teams in the region get automatic bids to nationals, and then 3 through 16 go to regionals to battle it out for a couple of other spots to go to nationals. And so the Tar Heels not far off of that. Certainly, whether they win this game or are still able to keep it close if they lose to NC State here tonight, it's a good showing and good for their ranking as well. Possibly another chance here brewing for the Tar Heels. Brought in by Mangle. He's going to run over a defenseman, but can't hold on to the puck. And the Icepack take back over. Be lugged out by number 4, Jackson Cowan. Leaves it for Riley Johnson. Feathers a pass to the middle, denied nicely by Simon Malone. Along the near wall, Mangle has control of it. In his skates, can't control it. And a great chance there for Riley Johnson. Little dangle move, but he couldn't put the puck on net. Johnson will get to it. Over on the blue line, far side. Struggles to hold the zone, but still does. Now the Tar Heels will clear. And it'll be collected by Alex James.
One thing you can't underestimate is the mental aspect of the game. For a team like NC State, they don't get challenged very often. Most of their games have been runaway games where they've won by 4 or 5 goals. And they've really only had a couple close contests this season. So the longer you keep this game close, the more it starts to wear on them mentally, and the more they start to question if what they're doing is leading to success.
Back at the point, James. His shot hits a body in front. It's knocked down by Michael Vaglia. He'll get it out in neutral ice before his stick is lifted and the puck is taken away. Poked back in by Charles Monteith, but Tar Heels able to send it right back to neutral ice. Here comes Carlson into the right circle. Shot blockered down by Griffin Hunt and cleared out of the danger area by the Icepack defense. Monteith again goes rink wide for Zach Robinson. Top of that left circle. Hits a skate on the shot, and it'll deflect to the near side. A little bit of a scrum there for it. Pops loose. Miglior comes away with it. He's got plenty of space through the middle of the ice. Leaves it over on the far wall for Henry Foster, a little bit out of his reach. Gets some help from Daniel Jones, and the Tar Heels will hold the zone. Foster loses it, gets it back, top of that right circle, but can't maintain control. And now Victor Hugo carries it out for the Icepack. It'll be lifted up and along the NC State bench. And a nifty little move there from Henry Foster as he'll get it over to Brian Hogan. Hogan leaves it for Beeson, who scored the most recent goal. Beeson sends it out in front, hits a skate, still loose on the side of the net. And the Icepack cleared around the wall. First to it for the Tar Heels, though, is going to be Beeson, who loses an edge, gets it back, and then pitchforks the puck back behind the Icepack net.
It's been a great first 4 minutes for UNC. NC State looks a little disjointed, a little out of kilter. Meanwhile, UNC seems to be finding its rhythm, a little more patience, some good passing through the neutral zone, leading to some good scoring opportunities.
And Sabotin takes away the puck in neutral ice. He finds Hogan, stuck along the near wall.
That was a nice job by Kendrick Holmes, really using the blue line to challenge the NC State forward as he came into the zone.
Yeah, Kendrick Holmes has been a great physical presence, particularly in this game here. He's going to send it down, not going to have enough on it for icing as Victor Hugo gets to it and sets up behind his own net for the breakout.
Yeah, you definitely knew Kendrick Holmes was in the house after his first shift, where he delivered about 3 hip checks.
Picked up by Leighton Walsh now. He's going to cut into space on that far right wing. Has Alex Fong on it. Takes the hit, sends it deep. Tar Heels in on the forecheck. It'll be quickly flipped out, and a chance here for NC State. In comes Colby Peterson, and a big save made by Douthit. A little bit of pressure there from Simon Malone, back checking as well. Another shot on goal and another save by Douthit.
Now Malone, even though he's beat, makes a really nice play because he essentially forces the shooter to come in and stay at an angle to Douthit. Douthit's able to square up and make a good save. It's a difficult save, but certainly much easier than if that shooter is able to drag across the front of him.
NC State with their first extended zone time here in the second period. Nifty little pass out in front. It squirts through Douthit and in. It looked like it was loose under the defenseman Simon Malone, and it squeezed through the pads of Douthit, and it's back to a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I think Colby Peterson comes from behind the net and then uses a little nifty one-handed backhand to make a pass. Oh, it's Solomon actually to Peterson. And really, you see the top line and the skill in action there.
That's an excellent pass there by Solomon to create that chance. And
it's a good defensive play. Solomon's got a body on him, and you just see that he uses his body positionally to kind of ward off the defender. One hand makes that backwards no-look pass, hoping that his teammate's there, and is able to capitalize.
A little over 5 minutes gone in the second period. A goal aside here in period number 2. Icepack right back to work. Peterson, the goal scorer, sends it out in front, trying to connect with Chris Solomon again. That's deflected wide. And Mangle will get it to neutral ice. Collected by Sam Ives, who carries it in down the left wing. Spins it out in front. Touched by Friedman. He'll get it back behind the net. 2 Icepack defensemen there, and they'll knock him off the puck. Matt Miller up the wall for Peterson. Now Chris Solomon carries it into the offensive end for NC State. Cutting to the high slot. Finds a charging defenseman. And Don Johnson, and another big save from Douthit.
Douthit was able to get big on that puck, take away basically most of the net positionally.
Now the Tar Heels going to ice the puck, and they're not going to be able to make a change. So some tired bodies going to be out here for the Tar Heels on a defensive zone faceoff.
It's going to be a big faceoff here. You got some tired bodies. See Zach Mangle a little bit hunched over, trying to catch his wind. Most important is just winning that draw and getting the puck safely out of the zone so you can get a good change.
Friedman and Zarek on the draw. Tar Heels, Friedman wins it. He wrapped around the wall but not out. A pinching Hugo holds the zone momentarily. Now Alex James in neutral ice. He finds Garrett Arini, who brings it in onside. But again, the Tar Heels will take it away. Miglior looking cross ice for Ives. Has some trouble with the bouncing puck, but he leaves it for Friedman. Friedman with some speed. Wrists one high and wide of Griffin Hunt. It will come out of the Tar Heels offensive zone. They'll have to retreat as NC State takes over. Riley Johnson retreats with it. Under some pressure, slips it up the middle for Parker Zarek. Zarek puts it on and off of the stick of a teammate. And it'll be dumped in deep. Arini was the first to it. And he's going to hold it behind the net. Good defense there from Justin Maggin to knock the puck loose. But again, the Icepack with the men there to take it over. Zarek, wrist shot. Stopped by Douthit. He'll poke it over to the far corner and out of danger. Zarek again, back behind for Riley Johnson. Watched by Wills Kendrick Holmes, who takes the puck away momentarily. Poked back loose. Johnson going to chase it down on the far wall.
Starting to see some tired legs out there for UNC. They're going to need a shift change here pretty soon.
Zarek behind, looking to center. Denied nicely by Maggin. And a bouncing puck will hop out of the zone, and UNC hoping it goes deep enough to get a couple of fresh bodies on the ice, and it will.
Fortunate bounce there.
Victor Hugo got to pick up some speed coming out of his own zone. Stretch pass hits a couple of sticks, deflects down into the Tar Heel end where UNC takes over. Beeson, his breakout pass too long for Henry Foster, but he'll chase down Miles Ferrone and knock him off the puck.
Good forecheck by Foster there. Results in a turnover and a quick one-timer.
Beeson whistled that slapper wide. Turning it around in front, Brian Hogan's pass is denied, but he'll get it back behind the net. Flips it over to Beeson, who tries to glove it down. Sweeps it towards the net. Loose in front. Griffin Hunt having trouble covering up. And it'll be flipped over to the far side. Another one-time chance. Hits the body on the way through. Good pressure here from UNC.
Good pressure, good traffic in the front. That's exactly what you want to do.
Icepack just going to lift it up and out. This is the period of the long change, so these two teams going to have a little bit more trouble switching up lines. And here goes UNC. It's Foster. Nifty little move as he puts Frosch on his back, but he can't maintain possession. And the Icepack cleared into neutral ice once more, but it'll be turned right back by David Mahan and the Tar Heels, who need a change.
Shift changes are real important here, and you want to coach your team to shift as you're going into the offensive zone when you have the long ice. And you're seeing UNC do that. That requires discipline because it's a lot easier to come off the ice when the puck's going the other way into your zone.
Shot through traffic, loose in the crease, and a sprawling Griffin Hunt will cover it up, and we have some extracurriculars between Eric Todd and Daniel Jones.
Well, it's been an excellent start. First half of the period, UNC's already surpassed its shot total by my count for the entire first period. Really getting a lot of opportunities and traffic in front of the net. And you're seeing Griffin Hunt, having trouble swallowing up those pucks that are in close, right? There's a lot of bodies in front of him. Sometimes that can make it tough to freeze the puck for a goalie.
Well, you kind of like the way that the Tar Heels here, it felt like a little bit that they were scared in that first 10-3 loss to NC State. And they're not playing scared even when they give goals back here in this one.
No, I mean, this is definitely, going toe-to-toe here. You're seeing both teams are looking pretty confident. I would say right now UNC looks like the more confident team of the two. I mean, they're playing a better brand of hockey this period, a little smoother entries into the zone, whereas you're seeing NC State, other than the goal, really you're seeing a lot of individual effort and not as much team play.
He carried behind right now by Drew Bresingham. Loses control. Here goes Daniel Jones.
And that's a good example. NC State had the opportunity to just set that puck up, let their defensemen become part of the play, and instead they're kind of rushing things.
And on the forecheck is Jones.
Good forecheck returns it, results in a turnover.
And it'll be thrown into the glove of Griffin Hunt. And we'll get a stoppage of play.
So it's been an exceptionally good start for UNC. They've done a nice job transitioning the puck through the neutral zone. Nice job with their shift changes on the long ice. Good forecheck resulting in turnovers. And on the other side, you're seeing NC State not playing as smooth a team game. And by that, you're seeing them rush their chances in the offensive zone, not allowing their full team to set up. And that's resulting in a good transition game for UNC.
Carolina controls off the draw and unable to get a shot on goal, and NC State will bring it back up and out. Matt Miller leaves it. Colby Peterson with a shot, swallowed by the glove of Will Douthit. And we'll get another stoppage and an offensive zone faceoff this time for the Icepack.
Well, the Icepack's top line is out on the ice. And it's matched up against a really promising second line for UNC that's really come on this season.
Yeah, Misha Sabotin out there with Leighton Walsh, as well as David Mahan.
All relatively new players to the program, really good additions.
And here comes Mahan, circling behind the net. Has some space, leaves it for Sabotin. He'll lug it back behind. Looking to the point, he's got Malone. Malone throws it towards the net, looking for a deflection, didn't get it. But Mahan will track down the loose puck in the far corner, has it knocked away, and here comes Peterson. Looking to the middle, he's got Solomon. And they will come in off sides with 9.5 minutes to go in this second period.
I think that was a good break for UNC there. You saw the second line was starting to tire out. The back check was dropping just a little bit off, and that can sometimes result in an odd man rush that can be capitalized on. So that offsides was good, allows for a good line change here.
And one thing that we haven't talked quite as much about on the broadcast here tonight, but is really important, something that the Tar Heels have done a very good job of, especially in this second period, is not giving NC State a lot of room to really smoothly move through the neutral zone. And as a result, they've had trouble getting in and establishing themselves offensively for the most part, although they're doing a good job of it here. Down low, Peterson. He'll be dumped on his butt. And a scrum, and well, now we've got a little bit of fisticuffs going on down there.
Yeah, we definitely have a meeting of the clans. NC State did not react well to that dump by Peterson.
Well, they'll go at it. Peterson and Miller in there for NC State. I guess get a look at Simon Malone. I think we've also got, looks like Brian Hogan down there for the Tar Heels. There was a hand up. Now, whether it's going to be matching or if there was a penalty that was coming before the whistles, I'm not entirely sure. But we'll get a look at it here. Looks like Peterson will be going off, as well as Brian Hogan.
Well, Peterson was definitely called first. I don't know if they called Hogan for a retaliation penalty.
They're still discussing it. It looks like they're going to take one aside. But you can see the emotions, even in a game, that's pretty, about the halfway point of the season. This is an important game to both teams.
Well, as a coach, there are good penalties, bad penalties. I don't mind that penalty as much. You're down in your own zone. You're playing physical, protecting your house. And what's good about it is you provoke a reaction, right? We talk about playing smart. And there, the NC State player, NC State's on the verge of getting a power play. They get a reaction penalty, and now it's potentially a 4-on-4 situation.
You got to give a lot of credit to North Carolina. I had the chance to talk to Coach Tim Healy of the Icepack a good amount throughout the course of the season. And one thing that he hears from a lot of opposing coaches, including Coach Volkman, after the first meeting of these two teams this season, very disciplined team. They don't react a lot to the extra stuff that goes on after the whistles have been blown, but you're seeing a little bit of that tonight from the Icepack.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's natural. You know, I mean, this, regardless of records, you know, this is your top rival. It's okay to go beat up on the University of Cincinnati, but when you get to beat up on the University of North Carolina, or at least you think you have that opportunity, you know, the Icepack's going to be amped up for that, and sometimes discipline starts to wane, and that's really a lot of what your coaching preparation is trying to set the stage for the game and keep your players' emotions in check. You want them playing intense, but you want them playing smart at the same time.
You can see there a couple of the captains on both sides. They're talking with the officials about what exactly happened. It looks like we're going to stay 5-on-5. Although as I look down onto the ice, it looks like we might have 4 aside, just based on how many players are on the ice at the moment.
All right, it's still sorting it out. You know, this is where, as a coach, it depends the type of team you have. You know, I've had teams where I have what we call a chirper, guy who likes to just talk, get in the grills of other people. And I'll tell a chirper sometimes, I said, look, I don't want you instigating something, right? You know, drawing a penalty yourself, but go in there, get under people's skins, because later in the game, it starts to provoke some emotional reaction penalties, just like we saw from NC State.
And it looks like it's going to result in an ejection of Colby Peterson, who's on that top line for NC State.
Yeah, that's a big loss for NC State. I mean, that is a 20-point scorer who definitely is a contributor, major contributor to the offense of NC State.
Well, and that would lead me to believe that the Tar Heels could potentially have a power play coming out of this.
Yeah, I would think so. That's probably a reason we have such a long conference at center ice, as they figure out how this is going to work.
Well, Griffin Hunt had headed over to the NC State bench in this extended delay. And there'll be an explanation given, I would imagine, to both benches. Right now, they're down at that NC State bench, and you get a look at head coach Tim Healy of the Icepack getting the explanation.
Well, I think Tim's going to have to send somebody to the box. It's probably like a 2 and 10, and so somebody's going to have to serve, even though the player's been ejected from the ice. So that's the explanation that's going on, and then what the status of play is as a result.
And that's where a player for NC State like Alex Robinson, Robo as they call him in the locker room, will likely move up and play on a forward line now to make up for that discrepancy. But that's, as you mentioned, a 20-point scorer, top line guy who's played a huge role in this game already. And he's out for the rest of the game.
And Peterson's definitely a setup man. He has 18 assists this season, you know, which is quite a lot in D3. Especially because stat tracking is not always the most accurate in D2, I should say. And so, you know, that's a guy who's setting up a lot of goals for Chris Solomon. And so substituting somebody in is not the simplest thing.
Well, you hear the crowd yelling now. There's a sign that was on the Jumbotron that referenced the football game that happened back on Friday. Not sure you want to be showing that to the Tar Heels right now, though.
So it looks like they're calling a 5-minute major on Nick Dowd, or on Colby Peterson, that's going to be served by Dowd. And then a double minor on UNC on Hogan. So essentially it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey. And there's some variations here, so there's a possibility that there'll be an extended power play for UNC depending on how this goes, because that 5-minute major is going to stay on the ice or on the board regardless of whether UNC scores or not.
So a little extra space now. Beeson in, his shot off the stick and out of play, and a face-off will come to the glove side of Griffin Hunt.
So with Hogan in the box, Coach Volkman decides to go with the other two parts of his top line. He's got Foster and Beeson out there. A lot of offensive firepower here.
And the Tar Heels win the draw. Quick shot pad save made by Griffin Hunt on Beeson. Alex James behind the NC State net. He's got Victor Hugo helping out there. For the Tar Heels, it looks like it's Henry Foster keeping it pinned up along the wall. Beeson in to help now. Hugo comes away with it for the Icepack. And he'll try and set up the breakout with Foster all over him. Up for Solomon. Chipped along off the stick of Beeson. And he'll turn it back for the Tar Heels. He finds Foster. Tees up the slapper. Glove down by Hunt, and he'll hold on to the rebound.
So it's a good start to this unusual penalty situation that we see here. 4-on-4, you know, as a player, the ice seems much larger. And as a coach, you want to caution your defensemen of getting caught too deep. So you at least want them to be staggered, because you don't want to give up a 2-on-1 or a breakaway in this type of situation because of the extra ice and the extra room to maneuver for your top skaters.
Tar Heels continue to put pressure on in the offensive zone. Saboden chips it around the wall for Daniel Jones. Back down low for Saboden again. He's got time and space. Dropped off for Mahan. Moves it across for Miglior. Down low for Jones. That pass is deflected back out in the neutral ice, and Mahan will chase it down for North Carolina.
There's a good example of defensive cross support as Mahan comes over, helps out Whelan, who has the puck turned over from him, but because they're supporting each other well, it doesn't result in an opportunity for NC State.
Daniel Jones will carry it across the blue line for the Tar Heels.
I'm also a little surprised by NC State's lack of aggressiveness here. It's 4-on-4, so you can put a man on a man here instead of playing in more of sort of a passive box, which we were seeing there for about the first 30 or 40 seconds.
We're about 2 minutes in, a little shy of that to this 4-on-4. It'll go for another 2, and then a minute of power play time for the Tar Heels, and they have a chance here with a change. Friedman's got speed. He's got one defenseman coming back, and a slap shot off the stick of Griffin Hunt will be chipped to the near side. The defenseman coming over was Cowan to close off the angle.
Cowan did a nice job coming over, closing off, at least allowing Griffin Hunt to square up on that shot and take away some of the higher probability options that Friedman had coming in.
Cowan holds the zone, finds Riley Johnson, who's dispossessed momentarily by Simon Malone. Johnson back to it, looking to center it in front, hits the side of the goal, and the Tar Heels take over. It's Friedman. Looking across, it's on and off the stick of Leighton Walsh. Garrett Arini will be there for the pack. He's got Walsh right on his back, though, who rides him into the corner. Loose puck, Friedman collects. It gets caught up in skates, and NC State comes away with it. Here comes Robinson, Alex Robinson. Looking back to the blue line, doesn't have a defenseman there, and Henry Foster picks it off. Foster's going to carry it down that right wing. Watched the whole way by by Cowan, and he sends it around the wall.
Coach Volkman seems to be running a little bit shorter bench right now. You're seeing a lot of the first and second line players out there. And you have to weigh that. You still have a whole third period ahead of you.
Well, we're down to 1:07 on the double minor to Brian Hogan. And it was a 5-minute major and an ejection for Colby Peterson. And there's still 2 minutes left on that major. Alex Robinson will chip it up and out of the zone off the face-off. Tar Heels resume possession in neutral ice. It'll be carried in by Henry Foster. Shielding Robinson off, tries to go short side on Hunt, who holds on, and another face-off upcoming.
Nice job by Foster coming into the zone, going wide, taking what was presented to him, and then driving towards the net and getting a good shot onto Griffin Hunt.
We talked about some kind of shaky rebound control from Hunt in the first period. He seems to have settled down here in the second.
He has. It's nice to see Foster go make that drive, right? Take it straight to the net, put some pressure on the defenseman. That can pay off later in the game. Foster's leading scorer for UNC. I think 9 goals on the season so far. Really nice addition to the team.
Icepack will break it out, down to 30 seconds left of 4-on-4. In comes Charles Monteith, tries to drag between his legs, can't hold on to the puck, and the Tar Heels break it out. Saboden up to David Mahan, has some trouble. Monteith knocked down by Wills Kendrick Holmes. Another big hit from the defenseman.
Holmes is letting you know that he's here to play.
Tar Heels still in control. Mahan down below the goal line for Saboden, back up top for Kendrick Holmes. Tries to throw one on goal, it's off a skate, and it'll be banked off the wall and out of the zone by Zach Robinson. Here comes Monteith. Backhand shot, he scores! That one caught Douthit sleeping a little bit, and it went off his shoulder and in.
It did, and you saw Justin McGinn. He played a nice gap. He's situationally spaced well. He's keeping the shooter to the outside, and it's a backhand shot, which is a little harder for a goalie to read. It comes off the stick obviously differently. They don't see it as often, and he's just not able to get that glove squarely on it and flutters over.
Tough break for the Tar Heels, who now have 57 seconds of power play time with 5:04 to go in the period, and this is a very important 57 seconds after cutting the lead to 3-2. They've given up 2 straight, have the Tar Heels, and they'd like to get one back here in the final 5 minutes of the period. Foster in control. Feeling some pressure from Monteith. He'll skate it through the middle of the ice and into the offensive end before curling back with it. Holds it at the blue line, over to Saboden, top of the left circle. Fans on the shot and turns it over. Icepack will carry it out.
That was a nice job by Foster coming into the zone.
Ferrone with a quick chance. Save made by Douthit. Brian Hogan kicks it along the wall for the Tar Heels, and they'll regroup with 20 seconds left on the power play.
Foster did a nice job showing patience, using his skill to get into the zone, allowing as a team to set up. And unfortunately, it was just a fan shot by Saboden that resulted in the rush the other way.
Well, that clearance should just about kill off the penalty to Colby Peterson. Again, Peterson was not in the box serving it. It was Joey Davidson who comes out as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey for the first time in a while. And the Tar Heels will bring it in offsides.
So now if you're coach, you're kind of a little bit back to where you were in the first period. 3 goals mentally starts to weigh on your team, and you want to just sort of focus their mind on the next shift. Just having one good shift here, getting back to the game you like to play.
Daniel Jones knocks it off the stick of Davidson, takes it away, but only for a moment as the Icepack take back control. Drew Bresingham back to the point. Quick wrist shot. I don't know that Douthit saw it. He makes the save, and a big save on the rebound as well.
Good reaction save. So UNC has their 4th line out here, and this is where a 4th line can really make a contribution.
Another stick save made by Douthit. Icepack putting the pressure on right now. Alex Fong sweeps it around for Bresingham. Back to Fong, high slot. He'll carry it behind the net with no shooting opportunity. Some pressure from a couple of blue jerseys. He finds Bresingham, who sends it around. And now a one-timer whistles wide off the stick of Don Johnson. Kept in by the Icepack, though. Bouncing puck through the middle, be taken by Reese, who takes a hit and clears it out.
Good smart play by Red Reese, just to allow for a good smooth shift change here.
And neutral ice, Tar Heels take over. Here comes Noah Friedman. Has it swatted away from his stick. Icepack take it back. And they'll battle for it along the boards.
Good stick lift by Don Johnson there as Noah Friedman was coming into the zone.
Now Jack Gleason throws it off the wall to be slapped in by Sam Ives. And the Tar Heels will give chase. Mangle around the wall. Icepack come away with it. A Tar Heel loses an edge, and here's a chance for NC State to break it out. It'll be walked in by Alex James, sent to the middle, but nobody there in a white jersey. James again behind the net. Along the goal line, bad angle shot, not on goal. It'll be collected by Gleason for the Tar Heels. He's knocked off the puck by Robinson. But it'll go right back to it with number 21. Robinson trying to force his way out in front. That doesn't work. And now Gleason will slap it around the wall. And Alex James able to hold the line. This is a solid forecheck from the Icepack. Centering pass. Nice defensive play made by Gleason to knock that away. Sam Ives will further it along. It'll be collected by Mangle, who carries it into the offensive end and sends it in.
Yeah, I saw UNC get a little taste of its own medicine there. A really good forecheck by NC State on that shift, keeping the puck in the zone and resulting in a good cycle. It really starts to tire out a team.
Tar Heels will retreat to their own end with it. Hogan has it taken away by Solomon. Chris Solomon working with it. Already 1 goal to his name tonight. And his pass will be intercepted. A big hit by Solomon on Beeson, who clears it out in the neutral ice. And And another retaliatory hit on Parker Zarek, getting physical. And a penalty coming up on the Tar Heels. And they're going to go at it behind the NC State net a little bit here.
So now you've kind of seen a momentum swing here. You know, what was really a great first half of the second period for UNC with a lot of shots, well over 10 shots. And now you see the tempo change. The last shift, NC State had a good forecheck established. You're starting to see a little impatience as UNC transitions through the zone, maybe trying to hit a home run pass, right? Get themselves back into the game. And this is where you as a coach, you want to start to emphasize fundamentals, working with each line as they go out, kind of emphasizing one point or two with them and getting things settled back down. Getting back to the game that you were playing in the first half of the second period.
I thought I saw a hand up for a penalty. Looks like it was just a high stick to stop play. And so we'll stay 5-on-5, less than a minute to go now in period number 2. A 5-2 lead for NC State. Chased down behind the net by Justin Maggin, who sends it around for Wills Kendrick Holmes. Up the middle for Leighton Walsh. It's on and off of his stick. It'll be collected by Ricky Frosch and sent back to the Tar Heel blue line. Kendrick Holmes pushes it up the wall. Tar Heels can't control. It's sent right back to the defense where Maggin can send it in. Down to 23 seconds to go in this period. Neutral ice, loose puck. UNC comes away with it. It's Leighton Walsh. Under some pressure, drops it back to the blue line for Maggin. And a loose puck swatted at the goal by Kendrick Holmes, but not on frame. Back behind the net now, David Mahan. Got to get it in front quickly. Bouncing puck, and it'll be taken away by the Icepack. Cleared back to the blue line, and that will finish off the second 20 minutes. Again, it was a good start to the period for the Tar Heels, but the Icepack able to respond with a couple of their own, and they extend their lead to 5-2 after 20 minutes.
Yeah, you know, it was an exceptionally good start. UNC got the game to within 3-2. They really seemed to be dominating tempo, especially in the first half of the period. Doubled their shot total from the first period. By my count, they had about 17 shots compared to 7 or 8 in the first. And then, you know, really unfortunate sequence, you know, which really started with, you know, as we talked about, you know, the set of penalties. I didn't think the penalty itself was too bad. You know, you had a double minor versus a major, but it's right at the end of the expiration of the double minor where you just see a bad break. You know, defensive gap was sound, and Douthit just didn't seem to play that backhand well. And we don't usually see that from Will Douthit. You know, he's so exceptionally good that we're kind of caught off guard, I think, whenever he makes, you know, just a regular goalie play, right? You know, that's not an easy backhand to stop, and he didn't. And so we're just so used to seeing him make a save like that. And you know, that's unfortunate. And then you started to see the tempo, I think, shift a little bit for the team. UNC getting a little maybe frustrated or sloppy, trying to do things a little bit, you know, solo as opposed to more of a team-oriented approach.
40 minutes down, 20 to go here in Raleigh. A 5-2 lead for NC State over North Carolina. We'll be right back.
Chris Lehman and John Johnson back with you here at PNC Arena. 2 periods down in the Governor's Cup. It is now a 5-2 lead for NC State over your North Carolina Tar Heels. We're going to take a look at how this second period went now for UNC. It was another quick start. This time that quick start yielded some results.
That's right. So we saw UNC really start off the period with really good tempo. They got some good traffic in front of the net, and they scored within the first minute, right? And we talked about that, getting those dirty goals, getting traffic and pucks to the front of the net, and making the life difficult for the NC State goalie. And then we saw a really good 10 minutes of hockey, where good transitions through the zone, a good aggressive forecheck, really creating some turnovers, some high-scoring chances. Unable to capitalize, but the shot total really reflected, I thought, an up-tempo UNC game. And then we had a sequence of penalties, which is a little bit unusual. We had a double minor on UNC and a 5-minute major, and that resulted in a lot of 4-on-4 action. And then we saw Will Douthit, and we were joking, we don't see Will Douthit really misplay a lot of pucks. And he faces a not exceptionally hard backhand that flutters over his glove side. It was played well defensively by the defenseman, and sometimes the puck just doesn't bounce your way. And then that was followed up by another NC State goal. And so if I'm sitting in the locker room now, it's 5-2. That's a big uphill battle against this NC State team. But what I'm telling my team is, I said, look, forget those first 3 goals, that bad 5 minutes we played. This is a 2-2 game, right? We have gone toe-to-toe, two goals to 2 goals against the top team in the Southeast, the second best team in the entire country in our division. So, you know, I want to build that confidence, and I want to get back to a crisper game, better transition through the zone. A lot of the things that they were doing in the second period that were yielding successful scoring opportunities, and of course that early goal.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about special teams in the first period, certainly played a role, and it certainly kind of seemed like the turning point in that second period, as you mentioned, those couple of penalties to Colby Peterson as well as to Brian Hogan. And again, you have a little extra space, and NC State was able to take advantage of it. So special teams still a point of emphasis.
Yeah, special teams is a point of emphasis, and I think special teams naturally favors teams with a bit higher skill level. And I think it's fair to say that NC State overall has a higher skill level when it comes to goal scorers and people who like open ice without a lot of bodies on them. And that's why UNC has to play a more physical game to congest the space. So, and also as a coach, you don't spend a lot of time practicing 4-on-4. You spend some time with your power play, a little bit of time with your PK team, but you don't get a lot of 4-on-4 time. 4-on-4 feels a lot more like a pickup game, and so then it becomes a little more of a skills contest, and you can have some weird things happen like we saw with that 4th goal that fluttered over Douthit's glove.
Well, we have 1 more period to go. We're going to take a quick break here at Intermission. We'll come back with highlights from period number 2 right after this.
Advice for future agents. Oh, hold on to your seat, guys. It's going to be an amazing ride. It's tough at first. That first year is always tough. But you work hard and you can play hard. So if you can just stick with it, especially through that first year, every year after will be very abundant. So don't give up. This is a long ride, not a little short one.
You come to us with a license, a phone, a car, a laptop, work ethic and personality, and your businesses can grow from there.
The foundation, the leads, the leadership. I feel like the leadership here is great at Health Markets, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a great opportunity for any individual that would like to be in sales.
Do not minimize the power of the collective. When one has an issue, we all work on it and we figure it out. And that was something that was unique to me, to be in a room where everybody's competitive, but yet Health Market structure is such that you encourage and help each other. Through the lead system they have, there's no competition. As a matter of fact, probably double agents and still not satisfy the need that today's consumer has for accurate health insurance information. There's no concern on any of our part. As a matter of fact, we just can't get to all the clients. So come on in, the water's fine.
It's your choice how you want to take your business, where you want to do it, how you want to grow it. It's your baby. Health Markets has unlimited resources. I worked at many jobs before where they didn't have the resources that I needed to be as successful as I would like to be. At Health Markets, I call it a mini franchise. All you have to do is plug and play. It's all there for you, from leads to websites to Facebook to training. You can do your whole career and learn everything you ever needed to learn right there from our resource center.
I find a lot of gratitude in this job because I'm able to, on a daily basis, help individuals. The money that I'm able to save their families and the protection that I'm able to give them has been very rewarding for me personally because I have a huge heart towards helping and serving others, and this job definitely has given me the opportunity to meet that need for myself in serving them and taking care of their families.
I like to say that we cover you from head to toe, including your eyes and teeth, without costing you an arm and a leg. That's the health market's difference.
Chris Lehman and John Johnson back with you here at PNC Arena. As you can see, a 5-2 lead for NC State over UNC at the moment. We're going to take a look now at the highlights from period number 2. And John, as we get into it here, I'll let you get us started as we take a look at the first goal of the second period from the Tar Heels.
Sure, so we came into the period, it was 3-1. Good start to the period. I was 23 seconds in. You saw a good forecheck resulted in a turnover. Beeson's able to take that turnover, walk to the front of the net, takes a quick shot, follows his own rebound in, and is able to tap it past.
Yeah, so it's been a good start to both periods for the Tar Heels, as we mentioned, yielding some results here at the start of the second period. And this goal reminds me a little bit of that turnover goal that NC State scored in period number 1.
That's right, exactly. You see a pressure on the defenseman. As we said, when you make that defenseman turn, he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head.
And then the Icepack come right back to it. That one slips through Doubt. I think he had some trouble seeing it.
And here you see Solomon. I call this a high skill play. Solomon uses his body. He comes from behind the net. He shields the defender away from the puck, keeping it wide. And then just sort of a nifty backhand, no-look pass to the cross the net mouth. Right here you'll see it. So he's using his body to protect the puck. No-look backhand pass comes in, bounces off the pad, and Peterson's able to put it home.
And Colby Peterson scores that goal. Here's another good chance for the Tar Heels, pardon me, and they've gotten a lot of traffic in front of Griffin Hunt.
They have. I think it's the recipe for Tar Heels success. You're seeing all of the really good quality scoring chances are really within 5 feet or less of Griffin Hunt, and that's what that's great, right? All goals count the same. It doesn't have to be pretty, right? The 6-inch goal counts just as much as the 20-footer.
And we get a look here at another chance for the NC State Icepack. This is where things really kind of felt like they turned in NC State's favor after this little altercation.
Yeah, it was a strange altercation. You're happy that NC State gets provoked and gets called for the major in the sense that you're not sitting there serving a double minor against this powerful NC State power play. But it does put you in an odd situation where it's 4-on-4 for a long time. So here, we see the defenseman maintain a nice gap. It's just a backhand. It's sort of a poor angle, and it just flutters up. A backhand comes off stick differently. If you talk to goalies, they don't see it as much in practice. They don't see it as much in the game. And as a result, they have a harder time anticipating where it's going to come. And so sometimes you can catch them a little bit off guard.
Yeah, we'll get another look at this from a different angle from the other side. And again, this backhand's just tough. That's one of the spots you go for, right around the ears of the goaltender.
Exactly, and as a defenseman, you think you've got this played well, right? You've kept the goal scorer to the outside. You've kept him wide. He really doesn't have a good angle chance. And here we're getting a replay of Beeson's goal to start off the period.
And NC State, or UNC, I should say, going to want to start like that for period number 3. They trail by 3. We're only a few minutes away from the start of the third, and we'll be back with puck drop right after this. Welcome back to PNC Arena here in Raleigh, North Carolina, site of the Governor's Cup. We've got one more period to play. It's a 5-2 lead for NC State as we get ready for the start of this period. John, what does this team for the Tar Heels got to do to get back in this hockey game?
Well, one, we want to keep it 5-on-5. I mean, we've seen that when it's not 5-on-5, it really is not flow in UNC's favor. 2, crisp offense through the neutral zone. 3, continue to stifle NC State speed and focus on getting those dirty goals when you get your opportunity. Good forecheck right there.
This is something that the Tar Heels have done well all night. They've started periods very strong, and then things have kind of tilted back in the Icepack's favor as the periods have worn on, particularly when we've seen some penalties go up on the board. Here comes Daniel Jones. He's going to sweep it in. It'll be collected immediately by Alex James, who turns it right back. Pardon me, that was Ricky Frosch. Move forward, shot, blockered away twice by Douthit. He gets the rebound as well with the waffle board.
Great second chance save there by Douthit, coming across, getting his blocker up.
And a chance now as Carolina caught on a change and out, way out of the net is Douthit to make that save as he cuts off the angle. He's a good way out of the blue paint.
Yeah, he is. You know, it's interesting. There's a really bad shift change, and you have potential 2-on-0. He comes out, he challenged that shooter, and you saw the NC State player. Maybe it's because it's the crowd. He decides to take that shot and try to, instead of making the pass over, which probably would have resulted in a higher scoring chance probability. But Douthit's able to square up and make the save, cut down the sight line for the shooter.
Tar Heels will win the draw, trying to make an opportunity out of it immediately. David Mahan chips and chases. He's beat to the puck, and the Icepack turn it back the other way. Here's Matt Miller. He's got Alex Robinson with him. Button hook, turns it back, finds a man at the blue line in Jackson Cowan. Initial shot blocked. Pass across for Miller is disrupted, and the Tar Heels break it back out. It's Mahan again.
And that was a nice zone entry by NC State, allowing all 5 of their players to set up, get a good scoring opportunity. That's what we were talking about. NC State had been rushing a lot of their offense, which plays into UNC's hand. But this past shift, really saw a nice setup there.
Little odd man rush for the Icepack. Shot slides wide of the net. Matt Miller looking to center. It's intercepted by Leighton Walsh, and UNC will look to break out. Held in at the blue line by Hugo. His pass is off a skate, and NC State will reset in their own end. Here's Hugo. Up the wall. It'll be deflected on by Miller. NC State goes off for a change. Simon Malone loses an edge. It'll be sent deep by Jack Gleason. Tar Heels looking to go in on the forecheck. Their forecheck has been good all night. And it's just been a matter of getting in and getting on the forecheck. Move forward, Garrett Arini. He'll leave it for Riley Johnson. That pass stolen away though. Tar Heels slowly moving forward. They'll get it deep. Victor Hugo first to it for NC State. His pass behind the net, stolen away, sent out in front. Back to the blue line, one-timer, deflected on goal, and squeezing the pads to make the save is Griffin Hunt.
Yeah, good shot from the point. It wasn't exceptionally powerful. In fact, I think he fanned just a little bit on it. But you can see, just get that puck down low into the traffic, and you've got to get yourself a decent scoring chance.
So an offensive zone face-off here for the Tar Heels. It'll be Michael Vaglia to take the draw. Parker Zarek wins it for NC State. Cycled behind the net. Hugo bodied off the puck. Tar Heels will hold the zone for the moment. Loose puck out at the blue line. Nice little poke play made to keep that in.
Great tap in by Caron to just keep that puck in. Now he's got a recovery here against the speed. NC State.
Quick move by Riley Johnson. His wrister up high over the net. Icepack will maintain possession. Back to the blue line. Stolen away by Reese. He'll get it to neutral ice, but no further. Riley Johnson for the Icepack. Goes across for Parker Zarek. Shot through some traffic. Seen easily and gloved and held by Will Douthit.
I think you're seeing a pretty balanced open to the first 3 minutes of the game here. UNC's coming out pretty strong. But at the same time, you're seeing NC State start to establish their offense a little more, a little less individualistic play, a little more crisp passing through the neutral zone, a little more team play in the offensive zone.
It'll be Eric Todd to take the face-off against Brian Hogan. Todd wins it for the Pack, but it'll be knocked loose. Henry Foster comes away with it for the Heels. He'll play it along for Beeson, who has speed down the left wing. Looking to the middle for Hogan. A little bit too far out of his reach, but Hogan chases it down. Off the wall looking for Beeson. Pass intercepted, and here goes the Icepack. It's Charles Monteith sending it behind the Tar Heel net.
You'd like to see Beeson just be a little more patient as he comes into the zone, since the driving forward in the center was covered. He could easily go behind the net and allow his defenseman to catch up and get established in the zone.
NC State has to reset as it's knocked out, and a trip coming up here on Henry Foster, who took out the legs of Charles Monteith. Hunt will head to the bench for the extra skater as Ricky Frosch gains the red line and sends it in. All the way around the wall. It's gonna slide all the way back out, and Pack gonna play some possession here and try to create something 6-on-5. Solomon has it poked off his stick. Whistle doesn't blow. Play continues as Don Johnson picks it up. He'll leave it for Jackson Cowan, who resets behind the NC State net. Banked off the wall, and now Foster, who committed the penalty, will touch up, and he'll head to the box.
Yeah, unfortunate start to the period as far as penalties go. It's something that's plagued the team all night. As we've said, this is a team that can play toe-to-toe with NC State 5-on-5, and that's where we want to see them. We don't want to see them in this special teams contest. We want to see Chris Solomon out there over on the right, setting up for his laser one-timer.
So we'll see what this NC State team can do on the power play. They've got 2 power play goals tonight already. And off the face-off a whistle, it looks like Beeson jumped in early, and so they'll redo the draw. It'll be Friedman to take the face-off for Carolina, up against State's Parker Zarek. Zarek flanked by Garrett Arini and Riley Johnson. Chris Solomon and Victor Hugo back on the blue line. A little bit of a battle ensues off the draw. Bouncing puck to the blue line, held in by Hugo. Beneath the goal line, Garrett Arini gets a touch to it. Pitchforked up the wall by Gleason, but not out. Now Solomon has it for the Pack. Pressured there by Friedman. Carries it down the wall, circles back, and drops it off for Hugo. He'll walk the line. Back to Solomon, top of that right circle. Pestered by Friedman. He has Hugo again. He'll step into a wrister. Deflects in front, and a great save by Douthit on Arini. Loose puck will be collected and cleared out by Friedman. Well, Douthit, again, we've talked about it. He's given up 5 goals, but he's made a lot of big saves as well.
Yeah, he's been seeing the puck exceptionally well. Other than the backhand, he's really been solid in net, scoring up on pucks, stopping second chance opportunities, making athletic saves.
Now a broken entry there for the Icepack power play. Tar Heels clear it all the way down again.
And you can't underestimate how difficult that is to do. Arini's a real pest in front of the net if you watch that power play. He's small, but he's constantly moving around, obstructing vision for Douthit, making life generally tough there.
Over halfway through the power play now for NC State. Solomon going to pick up some speed down the right wing. Drops it off for Johnson, who gives it right back. Now Victor Hugo top the umbrella, tees up a slap shot, hit his stick in front, and deflects to the far wall. Arini cycles it around for Parker Zarek. Down to 34 seconds left on the power play. Arini again. Back for Zarek. He's knocked off the puck, and it's knocked out into neutral ice. Good pressure here from David Mahan. He takes it away.
Excellent
Looks to the middle for Reese, and it deflects it on goal. Griffin Hunt going to hold on.
Well, it was excellent pressure resulting in a scoring opportunity. What you really liked seeing was that once he got possession of the puck, he got his head up. You saw the forward pressing hard into a high slot and made a nice pass that resulted in a good scoring opportunity.
So it'll be a short-handed face-off in the offensive zone for the Tar Heels. 18 seconds left to kill off of the tripping penalty to Henry Foster.
Looks like Michael Vagley has taken this face-off. Freshman new on the team this year.
And he wins the draw, and that's something we mentioned a couple times, but the Tar Heels really good in the face-off circle tonight.
They have been. They've been doing it exceptionally well.
Coming down to the end of the power play. Wrist shot there from Joey Davidson, blocked in front, and it floats to the far corner. Tar Heels can't clear, though. Alex Fong behind the net. Looking things over. Blind backhand pass is sticked away by Douthit again. Tar Heels can't alleviate the pressure. Collected back behind now. Controlling it, Fong. He'll play it back for Davidson. Graham Karen knocks Davidson down. 4-man scrum in that near corner. Karen with it again, throws it off the glass, and Ricky Frosch holds the zone. Back to Karen. This time he elevates and clears it all the way down. This bouncing puck is going to go for icing. So So a good kill there from the Tar
it was
Heels.
exceptionally good. You saw a nice face-off win by Vaglia, making a contribution. There's fourth-line centers coming in, playing in special team situations. Penalty killing is not glamorous, but it's an essential part of your game. And winning those face-offs buys you a few extra seconds on the kill.
Face-off will be to the glove side of Will Douthit. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey.
He wins another face-off.
And again, just great play in the face-off circle as now Josh Carlson takes a spill, and that'll give the puck back to NC State. Chipped in for Chris Solomon. He gets a stick to it with Graham Caron on his back. Solomon button hooks. Still in control right circle. Snaps a shot. Stopped by Douthit. Back out in front. The one-timer fanned on by Matt Miller. And the Tar Heels send it back to the blue line. And unable to hold the zone was Jackson Cowan. Here's a chance for the Tar Heels. Friedman in with speed. Looking to the middle. Chips it in front. And it's still sitting there in the slot. Eventually swatted to the far corner where it'll be lifted out of the zone by Chris Solomon. Right back in comes Sam Ives.
I think the Tar Heels have done a really nice job on Solomon tonight, 5-on-5. We really haven't talked about him a lot. He's been effective on the power play, but 5-on-5, he's really been neutralized pretty well.
Alex Robinson sends it to the middle for Chris Solomon. He's got Matt Miller, who leaves it now for Cowan. Floats it back down behind the net. And Matt Miller, I think he might have been trying to throw it off of Douthit and in, misses and sends it all the way down the ice.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was trying to just get that lucky bounce off of Douthit's back and just missed.
Tar Heels need a change, so they'll send it in and switch things up. Alex James behind his own net, looking to break it out now. Nifty little move there from Monteith, who brings it down the right wing. Stepping to the middle, loses an edge, and the puck will slide in on Douthit, who freezes for a faceoff.
It's a nice job by Jack Gleason, not getting carried away by the fancy stick movement. Really watches his waist, bodies him off the puck as he comes in. Douthit's able to make the save.
Well, it certainly feels now we're a little over 8 minutes into this third period, a little bit more tame of a third period so
yeah,
far.
I think maybe just a little bit of fatigue. You can only maintain that heightened emotional state for so long, right?
Still a 5-2 hockey game. Time to come back if you're the Tar Heels, but they'll need to spend a little bit more time in the offensive end. Icepack have had a lot of the offensive zone time here in this period. Loose puck in the low slot. Nicely played by Daniel Jones to alleviate the pressure. Henry Foster chips it into neutral ice. A collision at center. And the loose puck picked up by Foster again. He'll fight his way into the offensive end. Can't maintain possession of the puck. And the Icepack will take control. It's Monteith turning it up ice. Runs a couple of Tar Heels into each other and continues on. We got a broken stick down there. And now the Tar Heels can move it up. It's David Mahan.
Scrum over by the bench.
No whistle, so play continues. I think you see play slow down there. The players might have thought we were going to get a whistle. Now it's a 2-on-1 for the Pack. In they come. Pass to the middle. Well denied by John Miglior.
Excellent play by Miglior to cut off that pass to the middle.
Now Leighton Walsh. Maybe a chance if they hurry. Walsh gains the red line, sends it in. Hunt will set it on a tee for a defenseman. Swatted around the wall for Zach Robinson. He'll throw it off the boards, a little bit too strong for Garrett Arini. Tar Heels take back over in the form of Leighton Walsh. His pass off the wall, deflected by Miles Ferrone. And the loose puck skitters to neutral ice, collected by Misha Saboden. He goes 1-on-3. Nice back check from Parker Zarek to take that puck away. And the Icepack clear it out. Baglia the first to it for UNC. Plays it along for Justin Magan.
We're halfway through the period, and if I'm UNC, this is the type of game I want to play. If it's not this game, the game you're going to beat NC State is this type of game. Long periods where nobody scores, where you frustrate them, and then you take advantage of your opportunities when they present themselves.
Coming back for it, Ricky Frosch at his own blue line, plays it forward, and a little bit of a miscue. NC State offsides, they'll have to check up. Baglia takes a big hit as he goes after the puck. And the Icepack take back over. Pass through into the neutral zone, intercepted by Ben Reese, and he'll move it forward off the stick of Josh Carlson and in.
Interesting non-call there. He didn't really have possession of the puck, and we've seen similar calls go against UNC tonight. So interesting choice to swallow the whistle there.
Parker Zarek takes a hit in the near corner, loses the puck. Ben Reese clears it out. This one's going to go all the way down for icing. And the puck will come back down to the other end. And with 9 minutes to go in this hockey game, these two teams will get a quick breather midway through this third period. 5-2 still in favor of the Icepack. To go in this hockey game. Chris Lehman and John Johnson back with you at PNC Arena. It's a 5-2 lead for the Icepack. They'll have an offensive zone face-off as we get the third period back underway. They'll win it back to the blue line. Now Alex Fong in control on that far wall. Drop back behind. It'll be left there by Davidson, picked up by Fong. Or pardon me, Bresingham. He'll walk the goal line. Looks back to Davidson. Quick shot. Nice blocker save through traffic by Douthit, who continues to make some big saves for the Tar Heels.
He sure does. The shot total really was flipped this period. NC State dominating the shot count compared to UNC, whereas in the last period, UNC was really dominating shot total.
Well, we talked about there's a pretty good amount of depth on this Tar Heel team in relation to previous squads that they've had. This NC State team, as you would expect out of a top 2 team in the country, strong top to bottom in their lineup, and that may be showing a little bit here.
It is. You know, you run a program like NC State, you have the luxury of making cuts. You have a lot of people trying out for the team. You know, a lot of the ACC teams aren't in that situation. UNC is just getting to that point, right? Their program's growing. They've got a full bench, 20 skaters, and so that's great to see. It's really showing a program on the rise.
A deflected pass to the neutral zone will be chased down by Matt Miller in that left corner. Quickly taken away by Daniel Jones. He'll look up ice for Foster. Takes a hit as he sends it across for Saboden. Chance here as Jones comes in. He scores! Great end-to-end play from the Tar Heels, and it's back to a 2-goal hockey game.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. Execution through the neutral zone. Saboden taking the puck in, getting his head up, seeing where Daniel Jones is, right? Not being a selfish player. Okay, you're under the big lights here. He's got a 2-on-1. That's a smart play coming across. Daniel Jones buries it.
And it looks like the blocker of Griffin Hunt just hanging a little bit low there.
Hanging a little bit low, and I think it's fair to say Griffin Hunt does not have as good lateral movement as we see from Will Douthit. Douthit's definitely the more athletic of the 2 goalies. So, you know, you really want to take advantage. You got that 2-on-1 situation. Make Griffin Hunt move.
We talked about earlier on in the game how good the NC State defensemen are at jumping up in the rush. That time it's the defenseman Daniel Jones of the Tar Heels who jumps up in the rush to make that happen.
Well, we know Daniel Jones is a high-skilled player. He can score. He plays on the top defensive unit. He's a senior. He's got a lot of experience. And what I like about Daniel Jones is you want defensemen that know when it's appropriate to jump in on the rush. I like to say you have a 3-second rule. You got 3 seconds where you're really in an offensive forward, and then you have to be back on your defensive responsibilities.
Icepack going to create a chance off the defensive drone draw. Dragon shot from Chris Solomon, and it looks like it was fought off by Douthit. Loose out in front, and it'll be swatted to the far wall. Matt Miller first to it. He'll drop it off for Hugo. Walks the line, takes the shot, hits a teammate in Solomon, and deflects to the near wall. And now the Tar Heels will get it up and out.
That's the first time we've really seen Solomon come with a lot of speed. He did try to come in from behind the net with a little bit of a wraparound, and that got poked away.
Chipped out into neutral ice now by Miglior. Icepack still controlling the pace of this game here in the third period. Miller along that far right wing. Leaves it for Alex James. Couple of Tar Heels there to disrupt. And now Henry Foster carries it out for UNC. Takes a shot through some traffic. Nice blocker save made by Griffin Hunt. This is certainly still a competitive hockey game. There's still time for UNC, down by just 2 right now.
It is, and getting that goal is big mentally. When you're on the bench as a player, 2 goals, suddenly, every shift's important. I get that goal, it's a 1-goal game, right? Pull the goalie at the end. And now you're thinking like, hey, I can tie this game up. I can send it into overtime, I can send it into shootouts. And so, it's a game changer for you mentally because now the game seems within reach.
And we're going to get a penalty here on UNC. And a little bit extra afterwards as Monteith gets into it with Beeson a little bit. This is not what you wanted if you're UNC. Right after a goal, they have to kill off a penalty.
That's right, and we've talked about it all game. The 3 characteristics, right? Brains, heart, and skill. And we're seeing a lot of heart. We can't control skill, but brains here. We have to be smarter. You got 6 minutes left. You just got a big goal, and really you're 1 big play away from making this a 1-goal game and turning the final 3 or 4 minutes into a really exciting match. And now you're putting yourself in a tough situation where you've got to kill a penalty and use up a third of the remaining time doing so.
Well, you just got a close-up look at the most important penalty killer out there right now for the Tar Heels. That's Will Douthit in net. And he is in all likelihood going to be tested here over the next 2 minutes after the penalty to John Beeson. Victor Hugo up top as NC State sets up the power play. Along the near wall, quarterbacking is Zarek. Back to Hugo, top of the umbrella. Slap shot, whistles wide. It'll deflect back to Chris Solomon. Again, they find Hugo. A little bit of a slap pass for Arini, whose deflection is blocked down by Wills Kendrick Holmes, and he clears it out. We've said his name a lot. He's been great physically. He's also made some smart defensive plays.
He has. He's a nice physical addition to the defense. You need a defenseman who's really going to make, forward's job tough, especially in front of the net, right? You got Arini down there being a pest. And so, having that defenseman there who's not afraid to be physical and check is a good addition to defense because it balances out. You have some defensemen who are not as physical, who maybe are a little more offensive oriented, maybe a little more, puck handling oriented. And so you need that type of skill set on your team.
This has been a great penalty kill so far for the Tar Heels. Over a minute gone on that penalty. And really not many opportunities for NC State. Maybe one here. Arini to the middle, and they can't get the shot away. It was Riley Johnson who had it caught up in his skates, but the Icepack maintained control.
Arini again creating an opportunity there. Riley Johnson just couldn't get the handle on it, which would have been a really good scoring opportunity for him.
Nice blocker save there by Douthit on Solomon. And again, the Tar Heels will clear it out. This time it's Simon Malone who sends it into neutral ice. Victor Hugo will reset at his own blue line. Mahan chases him all the way back. 20 seconds left on the man advantage. This would be a little bit of a momentum boost, I would say, for UNC. If they can kill off this penalty, get back to 5-on-5, and get back to some offensive hockey.
Yeah, I think so, and I think you're going to see the top line coming right out. Yep, in fact, we see Foster out on the ice as this penalty expires.
So it'll be Foster, Beeson, and Hogan out there. As the penalty comes to a close, we're back to full strength. Chasing back after the puck is Simon Malone. He'll leave it for Daniel Jones, who cut this to a 2-goal game only a few minutes ago, and now it's a stoppage, and it looks like Tar Heel's going to take exception to a hit from Joey Davidson, and it looks like Simon Malone down holding on to a leg there.
I didn't see it, but when you have a player holding his knee like that, it might have been a knee-on-knee collision. You don't have any give in your boot.
injured player now on his feet. We'll keep an eye on it. I believe that is Simon Malone.
So that's a promising sign. You know, he was definitely down clutching his knee, and sometimes you get a knee-on-knee hit, and you're just a little bit stunned because it's a really awkward feeling. You don't have any give the way your skate hugs the ice, and so it's very awkward. Hopefully it's not something that is more severe, and you'll just be sore tomorrow and the next day and back at practice in the middle of the week.
Well, that's the beauty of being a college-aged hockey player, is you recover a little bit quicker.
That's for sure. That's probably a season ender for me or you.
They'll talk things over. I think UNC certainly wants a power play out of that. And again, it was away from the play. The puck had moved on, and so we didn't really get a good look at it. I don't think we're going to get a look at a replay here either, so no real chance to kind of break down what happened there.
No, the bench is clearly upset. You've got Daniel Jones over there. You've got Foster. You've got your captains talking to the refs, pleading their case, but to no avail.
And that's something that might galvanize this UNC team a little bit. You kill the penalty, and now you have a chance here back to 5-on-5 with a little under 4 minutes to go, where they can push back and try and cut this to a 1-goal game. You see a little conversation there with head coach Jeff Volkman. He didn't seem incredibly upset. He certainly didn't seem pleased either.
No, I don't think you're pleased. I mean, obviously, there's no point in arguing with the ref once they've made up their mind. But it's definitely happened right in front of your bench, so you got a bird's eye view of it.
I'd expect a little bit extra physical play here in the following minutes as we resume. Tar Heels able to gain the zone. Quick shot through traffic. Might have hit Beeson, and it's sticked away by Griffin Hunt. Cleared back to the blue line. Nice job holding the line by the Tar Heel defenseman John Miglior. And again, you see the effectiveness of this UNC forecheck, and they're really making it difficult at NC State on time.
They are, and now you're going to find yourself in an interesting coaching situation. You're down by 2, 3 minutes left, and you have to start to consider when you're going to pull Douthit. In conventional wisdom, at this age level, skill level, you're probably looking at, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I would guess, for when Douthit's going to possibly come to the bench.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that UNC net, down to 2:50 to play, as NC State fights their way out of their own zone, but they can't maintain possession. Here's Jack Gleason. Spins it off the wall, can't connect though.
And of course, that's all premised on you having the puck going up ice with possession.
Quick shot, they score. That's going to be a bit of a heartbreaker for UNC. Slips through the 5-hole of Douthit as Zach Robinson gets the tally, and it's 6-3.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Robinson takes his time, good patience, and looks like he might have beat Douthit 5-hole, but really this is a result of a sequence where UNC just cannot establish possession of the puck. They're floundering. I know all in their heads, they're all considering coming off their final shift change. And also, Douthit's considering coming out of the net. That's all playing through their heads. And as a result, it's just not as fluid a unit out there as that's all going through. And of course, now it's a bit of a moot point with the score at 6-3.
Tar Heels still going to push. Noah Friedman into the corner, looking to force it out in front. That pass denied. And they'll battle for it in that far corner. Little hit there from Josh Carlson. Getting some help from Friedman in a 2-on-2 scrum behind the net. NC State looking to ice some clock here as they pin it behind their own cage. Carlson jars it loose for a moment. And now to be kicked along by Miles Ferrone. And the Icepack are going to be able to break it out. Ricky Frosch takes a hit as he breaks it out. Chasing it down is Charles Monteith. He'll be knocked down. Puck squirts loose. Icepack still in control. Zach Robinson, who scored the last goal, in possession.
Well, you're seeing a little pickup in the physical nature of the play.
And we're going to get a penalty here on the Tar Heels. And they touch up, and there's the whistle.
Well, that should seal the game right there. I think we'll see Kendrick Holmes go into the box. And, tempers get up a little bit. You had a big hit over by the bench that wasn't called. That goal, now you get a little bit of frustration, right? The game's pretty much out of reach where you were considering pulling your goalie. And now with the penalty kill, the game is. So at this point, Coach Volkman, you want to get out of here with no injuries. right? You don't want to give up a goal. You want to keep this a 3-goal game because, we don't really like talking about moral victories as a coach, but you can go in and say, look, for the final 52 minutes or so, you played a 3-3 game with basically the top team in D2.
So the Icepack set up the power play, 2 minutes for kneeing to Wills Kendrick Holmes. Icepack trying to add to their 3-goal lead. It'll be cleared out, though, by the Tar Heel kill with 1:20 to play.
Good high clear by Beeson there. Nice job.
You can see fans starting to filter out as this game certainly seems decided at this point. Icepack will bring it in. It's Matt Miller down the wing. Button hooks with it. Holds top of the right circle. Still in control. Drops it off for Robinson. Across to Zach Robinson. He'll take the shot. He gets another. Third power play goal of the game for the Icepack, and it's 7-3. Talked about not giving up even when you fall behind big, and it feels like here late, I think the Tar Heels kind of had that will to finish taken out of them.
Yeah, I think they lost a little steam here. I mean, it's unfortunate because 7-3 makes this game seem worse than it was. I mean, it's really a 5-3 game, and it's just it's a bad minute or two. It looks like Douthit was screened on that. I've had that happen many times where the goalie looks at me and is like, get your butt out of the way, and with that look of semi-disgust. So I don't think we were going to blame Douthit for that one. I don't think he saw that puck as it came in and it went over his glove side. And I think that's just a little bit, you're in the final minute and the wind's been taken out of your sails a little bit.
Yeah, of course, when you talk about it, we've mentioned it before, and you certainly just referenced it, 7-3 makes this game look like a bit more of a blowout than it was. When you look at this game in totality, though, Tar Heels played pretty even for most of this game with this NC State team.
Yeah, I think, the Tar Heels went long stretches where they played the type of game that they will need to play to beat this NC State team. And they're going to do it at some point, right? But they have to play like they did the first 15 minutes of this period.
And there's another one. Traffic in front. Alex James throws it on goal. It might have been tipped. And it's 8-3 with 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, it was a low shot that was deflected in from the side. And, again, it's unfortunate because the final score is not going to reflect how close a game this was and how frustrated in many ways NC State was in their offensive attack.
There you get a look at it. And we'll get another look. I'll wait to see. It was Alex Robinson on the side of the net who may have gotten a piece of it.
Yeah, I think Robinson redirected it in.
And so it's 8-3 as we're down to 15 seconds to go. Puck dumped in. Douthit will sweep it around the wall.
And that's a mental breakdown too. You've lost the game and you just don't pick up your guy in front of the net. And of course, NC State still got fans in the stands and wants to put another one in.
Well, and they're not done scoring yet. Half a second to go. This time it's Sam Ives catching the Icepack off guard, and it's 8-4.
And almost a mirror image reverse, right? Pack knows it's one. Everybody's skating over to the bench. There's a second left, and there we go. Defensive breakdown, and that's how easy it can be for goals to score. So.
Well, they're going to call that a buzzer beater as they run the last half second off the clock. Ives' goal will count, so the final score is 8-4. But again, score not indicative of quite how close this game was.
No, and good for Sam Ives, freshman from Connecticut, coming in, getting a goal. Probably maybe in the biggest rink he's played in, but certainly not the way he wanted to do it. But still, way to fight till the end, right? He didn't give up. Scored with a half second left.
So the two teams will shake hands. They will present, I believe, the Governor's Cup to NC State after this. We're going to step aside, though, for a moment. We'll be back with some post-game analysis and interviews. Final counts is NC State 8, North Carolina 4.
Advice for future agents. Oh, hold on to your seat, guys. It's gonna be an amazing ride. It's tough at first. That first year is always tough, but you work hard and you can play hard. So if you can just stick with it, especially through that first year, every year after will be very abundant. So don't give up. This is a long ride, not a little short one.
You come to us with a license, a phone, a car, a laptop, work ethic and personality, and your businesses can grow from there.
The foundation, the leads, the leadership. I feel like the leadership here is great at Health Markets, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a great opportunity for any individual that would like to be in sales.
Do not minimize the power of the collective. When one has an issue, we all work on it and we figure it out. And that was something that was unique to me, to be in a room where everybody's competitive, but yet Health Market structure is such that you encourage and help each other. Through the lead system they have, there's no competition. As a matter of fact, it could probably double agents and still not satisfy the need that today's consumer has for accurate health insurance information. There's no concern on any of our part. As a matter of fact, we just can't get to all the clients. So come on in, the water's fine.
It's your choice how you want to take your business, where you want to do it, how you want to grow it. It's your baby. Health Markets has unlimited resources. I worked at many jobs before where they didn't have the resources that I needed to be as successful as I would like to be. At Health Markets, I call it a mini franchise. All you have to do is plug and play. It's all there for you, from leads to websites to Facebook to training. You can do your whole career and learn everything you ever needed to learn right there from our resource center.
I find a lot of gratitude in this job because I'm able to, on a daily basis, help individuals. The money that I'm able to save their families and the protection that I'm able to give them has been very rewarding for me personally, because I have a huge heart towards helping and serving others, and this job definitely has given me the opportunity to meet that need for myself in serving them and taking care of their families.
I like to say that we cover you from head to toe, including your eyes and teeth, without costing you an arm and a leg. That's the Health Markets difference.
Chris Lehman, John Johnson back with you here at PNC Arena as the NC State Icepack outlast your North Carolina Tar Heels. Final score 8-4, but as we talked about, pretty good showing. There's certainly some positives to take away for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, as we talked about in the broadcast, you know, UNC is putting itself in a position to beat State. I mean, State is probably the best team in D2, right? The best team in the region, and this is a benchmark type of game. And we saw long stretches where UNC played the type of game you need to play to beat a number one team like that, right? Most of the third period until this sort of craziness at the end, you know, that was a 0-0 game where UNC played exceptionally well, stifling a lot of the speed and skill of NC State. And they just need to put that together for longer stretches, combined with a smarter game, eliminating penalties, because we had 3 power play goals, and obviously, if you take those away, it's a 5-4 game.
Yeah, and you look at it, we talked about it a lot, score not indicative necessarily of how this game went, because it was Daniel Jones who made it 5-3 with about 6 minutes to go, and it really looked interesting.
Yeah, I really regard this as a 5-3, 6-3 game. You know, as a coach, you had a bad 5-minute stretch in the first period, and if you set that aside, you basically played about 45 minutes of hockey that was a 2-2 game until that 6th goal. And so that's nice to see. You're building confidence in your team, and you're putting in their mindset that they can play with these top teams. You know, as we said off camera, they look like they deserve to be on the same sheet of ice with the number one team in the Southeast region. And that's good because the season's long and they will have opportunities potentially for a rematch, and there's still that chance of going to nationals.
Yeah, and you certainly look at some of the other results that the Icepack have had, particularly their last couple games. They had to go up to Ohio, to Cincinnati, battle some bus legs, and they still dominated the Bearcats in a couple of games. So to come out here against NC State, while it's considered a home game for the Tar Heels, really kind of a road atmosphere, to put up the fight they did, I think is a statement.
Yeah, I think we see the deepest bench that UNC has had in a long time. Also, it's worth noting UNC scored 4 goals. In 10 of NC State's wins this season, they've allowed 2 goals or less. They're averaging probably 2.5 goals a game given up. So 4 goals is a big offensive output. And I think there are definitely keys that UNC can build off of as the season goes on.
All right, well, we're hoping to get Coach Jeff Volkman up here. It's a little bit longer of a walk from way down there in the locker room than it is over at the Orange County Sportsplex. Either way, we'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment. Chris Lehman back alongside John Johnson here as we wrap up coverage of the Governor's Cup. NC State takes down your North Carolina Tar Heels by a final count of 8-4. Unfortunately, not able to get up with Coach Volkman again. A long way to go from that locker room down there underneath of the stadium here. So we'll just wrap things up here real quick. As we mentioned, pretty strong showing. Not obviously the result you'd love to see. You'd like to see that upset here on a big stage, but certainly building blocks as this team has the rest of the year off, the calendar year that is, and then they'll restart on January 8th against Elon.
That's right. They'll get some much-needed rest. They'll get some additional practice. And I think what we saw tonight, we saw good, long stretches of game. That is the type of game that UNC wants to play to take its game to the next level. And just as importantly, we saw what hockey can be in the triangle at the collegiate level, right? We can't just have one good collegiate team, and now we have two. And we have a second team that's capable of beating the top team in the area, and that's really great to see.
Yeah, certainly some building blocks that this Tar Heel team can use to catapult them into the second half of the season. As we mentioned, sitting at 17th in the region, so right on that borderline for making that appearance in regionals for an opportunity, if you can steal a couple of games, to head even to nationals. So a lot of good things on the horizon, I think, for this Tar Heels team. JJ, your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is we had the luxury of seeing the deepest roster we've seen in a long time for UNC. We saw contributions up and down the score sheet from all four lines, all three defensive pairs, and we saw good effort all around. And if we clean up a few things, we're going to start seeing this team put together a series of wins in the second half of the season. that hopefully will catapult us to regionals.
Well, it was an entertaining, exciting, hard-fought contest with the Icepack outlast the Tar Heels. As we wrap things up here with the Governor's Cup coverage at PNC Arena, final count, NC State 8, North Carolina 4.